website it says the man, the myth, the legend, the beard, with a question mark.
The beard.
So I'll just say the little opening thing and talk and introduce myself. We'll go around and introduce each other, and then we'll just talk about that we have the draft coming up at 9, and then I want to do our fantasy claim to fame. Like your greatest or worst moment so far in your history.
Drafting Frank Gore
yours can
4
be
years
just
in a row and
tonight's
watching
draft.
him go down in week 3. Yes, I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah.
You have to watch your language.
Yeah, he told me.
Okay,
Don't
just making sure.
accuse him, Maurice. Close the
Normally,
door. Feeling
not so
real
much,
ethnic
but
right now.
since we're going live on
Yeah.
YouTube. Ha, bitch! Ha, bitch!
Feeling real
Wah,
ethnic
wah.
right now.
You don't have to shut the door all the way. Yeah, just get out.
He'll never get
Yeah,
out.
open it back up. Get some air in this bitch.
Get
Get
some
Get
Get some up in here.
Can we go topless via YouTube regulations?
That's why I said you'll never get back out.
Actually, yes, because everybody on the freaking ice bucket challenges.
That's
That's
true.
true. That's a good point. That was not fun.
Ice titty challenge.
I didn't
Sounds
enjoy it at
bitter.
all.
I am really bitter about the ice bucket challenge because all these bitches are taking like a little soup pan and going
Yeah.
dunk. Mine was a lot worse.
Okay, you want to curb your cousin?
Huh?
Because I went to test it. Apparently, it's live.
Oh.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Just
Sorry, everybody. I like how production's like, I have no idea what's going on.
God help the little 5-year-old that just happened to find this link randomly on a
We're
YouTube
coming to
loop.
you live from the Ninja Legion studio.
How did we launch the ship? We don't have training. We have beer. Somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Not here. That's for sure. No chance.
No, cream soda all the
No
way.
chance.
That's what you got.
Welcome to the first annual edition.
Wow, it's
Yes,
annual.
Yeah,
the
it is
first
annual.
annual edition
Sweet.
of the Fantasy Football Dojo here with the Ninja Legion. I am Mike Kraus,
I'm Maurice Thorpe.
I'm Kirk Williams.
I'm Mark Krause.
and today we're going to be doing a live draft in about a half hour on Yahoo, which we'll be streaming live. And for right now, we're just going to introduce ourselves and basically our history with fantasy sports, and maybe go over our greatest feats and our worst defeats. So
I'm down with that.
that'll kill a little bit of time
I'm
till
down
the
with
draft
that.
starts here. We get everything in order. So, I mean, I guess I'll start off by I've been doing it for about 8 years, I think, at this point. And I've won a couple of championships, mainly due to drafting Arian Foster in the 9th round at one pick after someone took Steve Slayton about 3 years ago. So
That's good
that
strategy.
I built a dynasty around someone's not picking
Someone's
Arian Foster.
incompetent.
I also didn't start Arian Foster week 1, like none of us did, and he scored 3 touchdowns and
I-
about
I
300
absolutely
yards.
did.
You did?
In another league, yeah.
Well, now we got a winner over here.
That's
So-
my.
Oh, okay, so you
yeah,
already-
that's my shining moment of
How about you,
fantasy
Maurice?
stardom.
I'm completely new to this. I was talked into this. I am a nerd, hardcore. Sports season's generally an excuse for me to drink and yell for the different color teams.
Why's it got to be colored?
Yeah, why do you got to do that?
Why you always got to do that?
So what he's saying is we abducted him,
Yeah.
and he's just going to be the voice of the guy that's never played fantasy before.
Mm-hmm.
And my greatest fantasy football moments so far were Mike and Kirk actually sitting down last night and trying to give me some coaching, but doing more talking between themselves than to me. So I got
He absorbed
zero.
it. He absorbed it.
We're
Yeah,
living Maurice's greatest fantasy moment right
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, and then
part of
I was talking about picking up Cam Newton, and the internet laughed at me.
now. Well,
That was
as
a
it
it was a
tends to
great
do,
moment
yeah.
for old Peach.
He's a
Man.
late value pick right now.
Yeah, I was like,
so-
oh, I'm getting there. The internet was like, ah, ha, ha, he's hurt
Deep
and he
sleeper.
doesn't know anybody on the field, so you're stupid. I'm like, oh,
Well, I'm Kirk. I've been playing fantasy sports for. I took a 2-year hiatus. So
Hi, Kirk.
But say, my name is Kirk, and I have a fantasy problem.
Hi, Kirk.
I bought all the Final Fantasies and I'm ashamed.
Wrong show.
But I've been playing for about 6 years after the hiatus I took for a little while. Probably my greatest victory was actually last year was picking up Nick Foles in like week 5 and riding that wave to a championship because he just put up absolute numbers for me.
He's
and,
easy to ride.
And yeah,
Riding
I love
that-
his
that
hair.
Long-haired hippie wave to championship glory.
So you can ride those wavy locks all the way to the Super Bowl. But and probably my worst was banking on having bad draft choices and banking on Frank Gore for like 3 years straight,
Yeah.
and just watching him go down in week 3 every single year.
But he bounces back.
He bounces back, puts up 250 yards and 4 TDs, and then he's out for the rest of the year.
He
So,
gets them in bunches.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I'm actually the old man in the room.
You
I've been
are.
doing this for 15 years.
yeah.
My greatest moment was winning a league that had a $200 per team buy-in because I split it with somebody. And we took Adrian Peterson. He proceeded to get hurt, and we still won the league.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I remember that. You told me about that.
That was when my quarterbacks were Robert Griffin and Cam Newton.
Yep.
So I like the scrambling quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
That was when they both
enjoyable.
were popping off.
Yeah,
so.
that was fantastic. My worst defeat was probably, oh boy, every time I've taken. Let me think. Who's my fantasy? Oh, I can't say fantasy kryptonite. That's an ESPN term. Gimmick infringement. Let me see. Probably the quarterbacks get me every year. I took Tom Brady the year he broke his leg after he threw 50 touchdowns. That was great. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
He went from
didn't
50
break
to
his
0.
leg, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bernard Pollard.
So I know.
So, yeah.
I know Mike and I both took Brady last year, and
Yeah.
we proceeded to start him for the first.
About 8 to 9 weeks.
It wasn't quite that long. We let him ride for about 6 or
It
7.
was for me, unfortunately.
Well, and then we both benched him the game he decided to throw for 400 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Oh, that reminds me. I had a choice between Brady and Manning last year
You
in our
did.
keeper league, and I took Brady instead of Manning. That was great. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's
We're
probably
really-
the worst fantasy thing I've
Yeah,
heard.
we're really blowing out our credentials here.
Yeah.
Why people should watch.
No,
us
but this
and-
is proof
and,
that
you know.
everyone, no matter how long you've been
Oh, it's
doing
gonna get
fantasy
you
football,
eventually, sure. Yeah.
you have more bad times than good, to be honest.
Oh
with
yeah.
you.
I forgot my password to the league page.
That was his worst moment so far.
Took me about 10 minutes to figure that out. So,
So we should probably tell everybody
Well,
that.
guess what? Looking at the draft screen right now, You're the number 1 pick overall, bud.
Maurice,
Hallelujah.
I'm
Maurice
so
is
angry.
Number 1. Oh,
That's
damn,
not-
affirmative action.
get that Cam Newton pick ready. Fire him up.
So we should probably let everybody know that if you would like to get some advice from us,
When we're off air, I'm gonna cuss you on something serious, man.
there is a way you can get advice from us live here from the Ninja Legion Studios on Twitter at Football Dojo. All
Yep.
one word, at Football Dojo. That's FOOTBALLDOGO.
What? Wait, what?
That was too fast. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounded Italian.
So,
Football adagio.
We'll be
need to talk with the
monitoring.
hands.
We'll be monitoring the Twitter. If you have any questions, let us know. And LaShawn McCoy has a big first aid sign next to his name. That's interesting.
No, that just means he's from Switzerland.
That was a very,
Sweet.
very
I did not know
odd
he was
pause.
Swiss.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
But all right. So to go over
should tell you how
our
much I
Honestly,
know
I
about-
need to send him a mad email because my knife broke.
See, that's how much I know about football. I was like, is he Swiss? And I was like, no, LaShawn sounds awfully dark
he
to
had an
me.
injury.
Okay.
So yeah, to go over our league that we're going to be covering throughout the season here, it's a 10-team league. It's pretty standard scoring, although we did have quarterbacks getting 6 points per touchdown. None of that 4-point BS. We're doing a quarterback, 3 wideouts, 2 running backs, a tight end, a flex spot that includes wide receiver, running back, or tight end, a team defense and special teams, and a kicker. So pretty standard stuff. 6 bench spots.
It is PPR.
It is PPR because if you don't have PPR, I don't want to talk to you.
Just no PP.
Yeah.
And it's a full point for PPR as
It
well.
is a full point.
Yes.
Yes. So.
I mean, by all means, if you have questions about really standard scoring leagues, then let
I
us
do
know.
tons of really standard
Right.
scoring leagues. 'Cause-
I don't like them,
Yeah. I mean, it's
but I do them.
it's the easiest way to go, but that's
That's
all right.
my motto.
You
of
sound
life.
like a rapper now. That's impressive.
So as we're looking here, we've got less than 20 minutes till the draft. We are going to be commenting on the draft as it goes on. At certain points, we'll have when a player gets drafted, if there's a decision to be made between one player or the other, we might talk about our opinions about the other player that didn't get picked. So that's enjoyable.
Hot button topics.
Hot button topics. We also heard in the news this week that the NFL's marketing director would like to get fantasy football in schools
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. Actually.
into the math curriculum
Yes.
because our public schools aren't bad enough at this point.
Common Core
Wait,
PPR.
wait, wait, wait.
Common Core
We
PPR.
can't teach kids how to balance checkbooks, but we can get fantasy football in
Well,
the
that's-
schools.
No,
Yeah.
they show you how to balance a checkbook. It's
They
just like
do.
in 5th grade.
Right, yeah, yeah.
That's the problem. You
When it
forget
doesn't-
it by the time
when it
you-
doesn't count. Yeah, true.
So the NFL, in its great wisdom, says that the math skills employed in fantasy football can be used in real life applications, although they don't acknowledge that it is.
You mean
pretty
counting?
much- yeah, counting. Yes.
I was just
Okay.
about
They
to
don't
say,
acknowledge that it's pretty much gambling, but that's okay.
Right.
I mean,
I was just
whatever.
about to say,
They don't
know.
ever acknowledge gambling, even though it fuels the fire.
It is great
That's what fantasy was invented for, was for
It's true.
gambling.
because there's not enough interest in the games already.
Right.
No, not at all. But one interesting point I'd like to point out right now is that Kraus and I actually have probably the worst draft positions in a 10-team league. I am number 5. Kraus is number 6.
I get number 6 all the time in a
Wow.
10-team league
You also get your voice really
It's very-
because I
elevated.
get angry. Because 6 is worthless.
If you
5
haven't, if
and
you
6 are
haven't
the worst
seen,
spots to be.
if you haven't seen Mike on the other Ninja Legion podcast,
Just get first 2 picks.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow, yeah. The two noobs are 1 and
The
2.
noobs are 1 and 2. That's all right. They get a handicap. It's
Well,
okay.
that's great. No, it's because, Steven Gostowski and, Elvis Gerbach are to go 1 and 2, so that's fine
true.
with me.
You got to get those guys off the board.
Seattle's
right away.
D is really strong this year, so,
So
Legion of Boom. Baby.
So basically, watch Maurice do something stupid and watch you guys groan for the next 5 minutes.
I don't think we'd groan, Maurice. We'd mock you endlessly, but we wouldn't groan. But if you've seen Mike on any of the other podcasts, he's basically the bitter bus driver, which I've known him as for a good 30 years because he's my younger brother.
aka sauerkraut.
Sour Kraus. Yeah, that's our last name is Kraus. So he gets that a lot. So he'll rage out at least once during the draft if somebody takes somebody that he wants right before him. But that's everybody
I'll
needs
say
a
my
little
team
angst.
is totally horrible and I hate it,
Oh yeah, hates his team constantly. It's
but
good.
then I'll eventually like it.
On the other hand, I'm the glass half full half of the equation, where I delude myself into thinking my team's decent until it crashes and burns by week 3. Or
You're the
4.
great justifier.
I can rationalize anything. Absolutely, I could pick somebody that's a total joke and be like, I could work out. Sure, absolutely.
Transfer this from this.
I'm also notorious for trying to make trades with everybody in the league when no one wants to trade ever.
Yeah, let's
So-
try to make this league trade happy. Seriously,
Honestly, I've never really been in a league where trades either A, happen, or B, happen fairly or for the right
Well,
price.
here's the thing. This does have a vote, and half the league has to vote for it. So
Well,
it's
no,
five votes or more.
Well, the league I was in last year, a guy tried to trade me Joik Bell, and
Great name, by the way.
yeah, it is a great name.
I used to call him Jaquay.
Yeah, I thought that's what I
That's
thought it
good.
was. I thought it was like Wok. That's what I thought until I heard it on TV. It was Joik. But
Wok Ken Cook.
He tried to trade me Joik Bell and Percy Harvin for Des Bryant. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Des Bryant's currently the number 3 receiver in the league, and other guys
In the universe.
Yeah, really. And then those other Joik Bell and Percy Harvin. I'm pretty sure Percy Harvin's on the IR at the moment, and Joik Bell gets four carries a game. So, no, and he got mad at me. I'm like, I denied it immediately. He's like, why not, bro? I'm like, well, it's because you're an idiot. That's
Yeah.
why not, bro.
And then you used bro after you said it. That's why.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. He honestly said
Bro.
bro to me, and I was like, no.
So while we're waiting for the draft to start, we should probably talk about what the normal schedule for this podcast
Yes.
is going to be. We don't do Saturday night podcasts. We're doing it now because it's the easiest time to do it, and we thought it would be the most visible time to do it. But our normal podcast is going to be 11:30 to 12:30 Sunday mornings. We're hoping to have you all make us part of your routine. I know Mike and I have a routine. I'm sure you guys do too on Sunday mornings where you get up and just surf all the different programs and stuff. We hope you'll stop by and give us a shot as well. We'll
I don't
have-
give you all the information
We'll
you
try,
don't
we'll try
need.
and do some
Yes.
stuff that the other ones don't do so that it doesn't get
I
repetitive.
don't think you're the type of program I surf on Sunday morning.
Yeah, we're looking back at you, Maurice.
Yeah.
You didn't know
Sorry.
that. Yeah.
You
We
will
have that
now.
power.
Yeah.
You're going to learn today.
Before
You
I
go
get into the
Wednesday.
good stuff, like, that was a poor choice of pick. I should have started that guy. Now I know.
We should also note that this draft's taking place in the Ravens vicinity, so we may see some wacky Ravens picks that are way higher than they
A Mr.
probably
Smith
should be.
Senior might show
Oh,
up
Mr.
early.
Smith Senior might show
His
up.
average draft position.
Yeah, he might be a little overdrafted. We don't know.
Which is funny because used to be a number 1 receiver
Yeah.
pick. I mean, he
No,
was
sure.
the receiver to have for years.
Absolutely.
Also, don't forget, we are more than likely going to have a waiver show
Oh, that's
on
true.
Tuesday evenings
Tuesday
as
nights.
well. We're still
Uh,
working out the time spot
It'll
for
be
that.
a week in
but-
review / who you should pick up on waiver wire / who you should overreact to.
Yeah,
And pick
So
up. to
maybe
have
our
them be
sleeper
horrible.
picks, try to sneak
Right.
one in.
Sure. Yeah.
but I won't give
absolutely.
too many away because we are in a league. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
We could call that the Kevin Ogletree podcast.
Yeah.
Because last year that was the guy that scored 3 touchdowns in week 1. Everybody picked him up.
Right.
He did nothing for the rest of
It
the
could
year.
also be called the Zach Sudfeld podcast.
No, the Zach Sudfeld podcast is a whole different thing. That's a player that doesn't even make the roster that you draft, like I did last year.
After preseason, everyone was like, well, Aaron Hernandez is going to jail. Yeah. So this guy's going to be top choice. And we all draft him or pick him up off the waiver wire. And he gets 1 point week 1 and never
No,
plays
it was
again.
miserable. Yeah, he's now on the Jets, which should tell you all you need to know about Zach Sudfeld. I was actually going to make that like a ceremonial award, the Zach Sudfeld Award of guy that gets drafted but never does anything. And it's looking like James White this year. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Because he's a Patriot, and everybody loves Patriots camp, and they go and they go, oh, James White's amazing. But he's got 3 guys ahead of him, and who knows if he's even going to make the roster.
I'm honestly
But-
hoping that award goes to Johnny Manziel this year. I hope Brian Hoyer
Well,
throws for 10,000 yards and
you know.
200 touchdowns. Like, I don't care if they win the Super Bowl or not, just because I want to see Manziel go down.
Wow.
Hoyer has 20-minute quarter Madden numbers for,
Yeah.
Dead serious.
for the year.
He's throwing for 300 yards a quarter. I mean, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's fine.
So as you can see, some of these team names are pretty nerderific. We tried to do that on purpose.
Sure, we did.
I like the Be More Battletoads. That's pretty cool.
That is our fearless leader, Tony.
That is a difficult game. I know you guys have probably
Yes.
gone over that before.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of hoping someone would be Double Dragon, so then we could have when they finally face up during the season, it would be
Battletoads
Battletoads
versus
Double
Double
Dragon.
Nice. That would be
I was
cool.
hoping,
It's
but
a mashup.
it didn't happen.
I had planned on doing that until I saw the was it Dargons?
Dagrons.
Dagrons.
Dagrons, and I was like, I can't do it now. It's too close.
Actually, you guys want to go over the draft order?
Sure.
Yeah, we can go run that down.
Run that down real quick. Actually, Maurice here, as we said before, he's the number 1 overall pick.
Yay.
Yeah.
Then our producer, who is off camera, Paul, he is the number 2 pick. Yeah, he's still in there. Just making sure. Then our buddy Kyle, he's our number 3 pick. He's the Denver Dagrons. If you ever seen Homestar Runner, you'll get that, but probably haven't, so don't worry about it.
That's deep.
We're dating ourselves.
Then you have Justin's super team, Who is that?
It's our buddy who has done quite a few fantasy leagues, but he just signed up about an hour ago, so he has to change his team name.
Gotcha.
But it's our friend Justin, and he has a super team.
Awesome.
It is. Yeah, we're hoping. Yeah.
Then I'm in the 5 spot. I'm the Detroit Lion-O's. Shout out to the Thundercats.
Yes. And I am the Kansas City Master Chiefs.
Which is probably
Nice.
one of the greatest fantasy team names I've ever heard.
By the way, I call Mike the fun maker because anything that's fun about fantasy football, Mike specializes in, including making team names.
It's funny, we always call him Buzzkill.
Well, I mean that's good too, but
you.
This
I can
guy's
say
got
that.
this guy's got some crazy fantasy team names. Flacco Seagulls.
Which that went around, but
I mean,
that was me first.
He had it first. I'm not gonna lie. No, it was
And
absolutely great.
my other favorite this year, it wasn't nerdy, I guess, but Waka Flacco Flame.
Oh yeah. Anytime you can work Joe Flacco's name into,
I have to give a shout out to one of my buddies. Did have message in a Bortles,
Oh, that's
which
good.
is really good.
I like that.
Which
That's
is really
enjoyable.
good. So I didn't want to steal it, but I had to mention it because it made me laugh a lot.
So my other favorite one, like I've said before, is Gronk if you're horny.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. All right, so Mike's in the six hole. Who's in 7?
That is my friend Brian.
Zans.
That is Brian.
Good. All right.
Yep.
And our fearless leader, Tony.
Our overlord Tony is in the 8th spot with the Be More Battletoads. I am at 9 with the Ninja Guy Denver Broncos, which they wouldn't allow me enough characters to throw Broncos in there, but
Paul.
it's close enough.
Can you link the stream in the chat box for me, please? Like the live stream, in the app chat box. One of the guys wants to check it out.
Oh, very good. And then in the 10th spot, we've got Beats by Ray.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Beats by Ray. That's a cheap shot by one of the guys at my work because he's a Redskins fan and anything Ravens related, he's going to make fun.
Oh,
That's a take on
that's
Beats
what
by
that
Dre,
is.
but it's talking
Right.
about Ray Rice
Ray
beating
Rice.
up his.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's
significant
at
other.
least it's creative.
Right.
You know, whatever.
I do like how we're promoting domestic violence with these team names. It's fantastic. I'm just pointing that out.
We're not promoting it.
I mean, not we,
No.
but we as people, as human beings.
No,
Beats by Ray. It's
Oh,
it's
boy.
hilarious.
That's
it's a pun. Come on.
It's hilarious. No, I'm
You say
admitting it.
punch?
No pun.
Oops.
Can we all Can we all just pour out a bit? Not in the studio because there's a lot of electronics. Can we all pour out a bit for everybody that took Josh Gordon in a draft, prospectively? by the
I'll
way?
take a drink.
Yeah, before
no,
he
we're
got
still in the
suspended.
studio.
Let's just all
Yeah, it
take a
still
drink for
happened.
that because we all thought that Josh Gordon was going to get to play.
Yeah, we all hoped he would at some point.
So
you
I
know.
figured 2, maybe 4 games, but it was kind of funny. You hit your old lady, you get a 2-game suspension. You hit a blunt, it's 1 year. It's pretty messed up.
They have adjusted that
Goodell,
too.
for the first time in his life, apologized for not doing the right thing and came out this week and said any future domestic violence cases are going to have a minimum 6-game suspension. So
I'm still thinking that hitting your wife is worse than smoking
of
some
course,
marijuana.
Yes.
Personally, but
Depends
not
how good
condoning it.
your
It
marijuana
is still
is.
illegal in most states, so I'm not condoning it. I do have to say that disclaimer. Got to. Well, and this is also what? How many times has Josh Gordon been caught with illegal substances?
Oh, a bunch. Yeah. I mean, more than twice.
This is
if
his
you include his college career.
This is his
Yeah.
second suspension in the
Yes.
NFL.
Yeah.
It's his 4th suspension overall with college.
I think so. That makes sense. Yes.
I think that's it. So I can understand why it's 1 year at this point, but
I just like the fact that he tried to say it was all secondhand smoke. That's good. That's
hey,
a good alibi.
I did not inhale.
Yeah, he's the
Throwback to Billy.
the
That's a
Bill
lot of
Clinton
strong
defense.
secondhand smoke.
It is. Strong.
You ever gone to college? It's everywhere.
Well, he was in a car apparently.
I mean, if you're hotboxing,
He's
I mean,
hotboxing it.
Yeah.
things happen.
It's called a high ride for a reason.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
One other thing we should mention is that our podcast has a spiritual talisman. It is something that gives us great joy. It is unearthed from Mike and my parents' house. The Pro Football Weekly fantasy special from 2001 with Peyton G.D. Manning on front.
A little young-faced Manning.
A fresh-faced Peyton Manning.
He still had not quite the
before-
6 head. He had a 5 head.
Say it's
Oh,
before
he
he looked like
enjoyed
John
it.
Elway looked like a horse.
It was amazing. Just to give you we'll be referencing this every once in a while, but just so everybody knows, Fred Taylor's the number 3 running back
Yeah, Fred Taylor.
in this.
Fragile
book.
Fred.
Fragile Fred. Everybody loves it. Yeah,
No
this
idea.
was preserved fossil-like in the basement of my
Yep.
parents'
Honestly,
house.
there's one of my other biggest fantasy failures. A couple years back, Fred Taylor came back and running his ass off. This is what, 2005, something like that, 2004.
Oh, this
around
was
there.
the late season push of Fred Taylor to take him into the next season. Everybody overdrafted him.
Right, everybody
That
overdrafted.
was awesome.
Yeah, and well, no one in our league had drafted him that year. I picked him up later in the season because everybody's like, he's so injury prone, I'm not going to touch him. I picked him up, next thing you know, and he's hurt. It's like... Again, and then, honestly, I think that's why Frank Gore kept getting hurt. It was Fred Taylor coming back to haunt me. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
The ghost of Fred Taylor.
It was the ghost of Fred Taylor.
That should
even
be
though
a
he's
team
still-
name.
I mean, you can't do that. The guy's still alive.
Very
Oh,
good.
man. We
Very
got
good.
6 minutes left, and I'm so excited to get the most mediocre draft started in the world.
It's gonna be great.
It is going to be
Nothing like drafting in the middle every time.
Seriously, I've never been at the end of a draft on either end of the spectrum. I've never been number 1 or number 10. I've never been even close.
Me neither.
I'm all. It's very true.
Yes,
No,
you have.
you have. You're right now.
You're
I was
one
like,
for one.
hopefully no one will know.
Oh man, honestly though, we all kind of figured this was going to happen.
Yeah.
That
Still too foamy.
sorry, Maurice's drink
That-
is all foamy.
That Maurice would get number 1 overall pick.
We all figured that someone of the sort, either it's gonna be Maurice or Paul, the
Yeah.
noobs, as
If
we
you shake
say.
up cream soda, it gets foamy.
Yeah, cream soda. Oh, they can't see me, so don't worry about it.
So I cannot wait. It looks like it's pegging me at either Eddie Lacy or Calvin Johnson, unless someone does something weird. He's not going to
Points
do
to
it.
Maurice.
Maurice is going to follow the thing and draft the Swede. He's going to take LaShawn McCoy.
The Swede. Nice. Don't fight it. Don't fight the Swede. Let him work
I've
for
written
you.
down that name of whoever that guy was.
Fantasy UEFA. We're actually taking. This is football, actually, guys. We're not doing.
Oh man, I'm in the wrong
yeah.
studio. Hold on a second.
So
Wait, this isn't a Street Fighter tournament?
So Justin just suggested I change my team name to Michael Sam I Am, and I was just like, no.
Honestly, I like the
I'm
one I
not-
told you off air. I like unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
That is good.
I just happened to. It was one of the
That is
random
fantastic.
mock draft names I saw.
That
good.
is pretty good.
I thought that was fantastic.
What was the one that you wanted to do, but it was way too long? And Yahoo
I
wouldn't
wanted
let
to
you?
do Oakland Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Too many characters.
Too many
Yeah.
characters.
They will not
Damn-
allow that.
Darn
not
you,
gonna
Yahoo.
happen.
Yeah, in our chat box down here, Justin's talking about a auction rotisserie league that we're doing tomorrow
Oh
night
yeah,
with
that's
him.
tomorrow night. Yeah.
So if anyone out there hasn't ever done an auction league, you're just nominating people when it's your turn to be bidded on with imaginary money. You have like a salary. I've never done one, but I can't wait to try because I've heard it's
I've
fantastic.
done a ton. It's the best way to go.
But apparently you can be real big jerks.
Oh, you can be horrible to each other, and it's absolutely great because somebody will inevitably spend all their money on the first 5 players, and then they'll be stuck with a horrible team, or somebody will get cute and they'll save all their money till the end, and nobody will be left.
Yeah.
I've been that guy. I've left an auction with 20 fake dollars before. That's a great feeling.
That's
When you
awesome.
could have had
Your
3 or
virtual
4 other
pockets
guys.
are stashed.
Oh,
you know,
I
you
was
got-
yeah.
Making it rain with
Exactly.
Monopoly money?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was
Going
Mr.
to the
virtual Uncle Pennybags over here from Monopoly.
Going to the virtual club.
Yeah, the virtual club with all my fantasy football players. Ugh. Okay.
See, like, thing is though, if I was the first one up in a fantasy draft, I would be that jerk that would nominate a kicker, like just
Oh, you can do
immediately.
that. Sure. Absolutely.
But just, and I would hope everybody would follow suit, and you just draft completely.
Make sure it's the
backwards.
best kicker though.
No, I'm gonna nominate. I'm
getting Cundiff.
gonna nominate Cundiff.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, I'm getting Cundiff.
And you'd end up with him for $1. That's absolutely what would happen.
Honestly, can you bet?
And it would be
You-
ridiculous.
Can you
if we
bet
had a
pennies?
monster
Can
year.
you bid pennies?
no, you have to bid at least.
Oh, it's got to be a
$1.
whole dollar.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's worth it.
And if nobody else,
Even
spoke
real
up, you'd
American
get
money,
him.
I wouldn't sign Cundiff
You
for
would
a
get
dollar.
crickets.
Ouch.
Well, considering that the Redskins and the Steelers both cut him,
Browns love him though.
for some reason, yeah, he goes to Cleveland and he can kick again.
I mean, considering 4 years ago he was bagging groceries, I think legitimately. So
Yeah.
more power to him.
Sure, why
He
not?
resurrected that leg. So
See, I'm gonna stick with what Mickey Coachella said on 90 Rock. I'm a Hauschka guy. I love what he's doing in Seattle. I didn't want to see him
just
go.
steady,
Yeah.
slow and steady.
Wow, that was. We're talking kickers. This is.
Yeah.
We're deep diving here.
We are diving.
Already.
We call that the Maurice effect. Right there.
It's a quick twitch muscle fibers.
Quick twitch.
Hey.
2 minutes till draft.
Say honestly, now we're just starting to ramble.
Kyle,
We're not.
Kyle agrees with us. Auction drafts do bring out the jerk in
Yes.
everyone.
Yes, I can't wait.
It's a great time.
Fantasy football in general brings out the jerk in
Well,
everyone.
I mean,
If
of
it brings
course.
out the jerks, why isn't Spider here?
Oh, burn.
our fellow podcast
I
compatriot.
feel like he would
I
be.
was gonna say compatriot. That's weird.
I feel like
2 minutes.
he would be
folks.
the best drafter of all time. He'd blow us all out of the water because he would just
No, don't.
hours and hours.
He'd
of
be trying to
research.
draft Yankees.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be the Lex Luthor of fantasy football.
Well, did we find out? Does he like New York football teams, or is it just the Yankees?
I don't know. He likes the Yankees. That's bad enough.
Who has a little dingling over there?
Wasn't me.
Whose phone popped off?
That might have been my tablet, actually. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
tablet.
Got a little-
Silence the phone and
got a little
silence
whistle.
the
I
tablet.
was say you immediately looked at me. That's
No, I
messed
immediately
up,
knew it
dog.
wasn't right because that was a Samsung tone, and I was like, "You got LG and
I have an
Amazon."
LG, and all my
So-
sounds are Final Fantasy anyway.
It is the Fantasy Dojo, so
It is
Yes.
the Fantasy Dojo. We are
we're at
nerding it
about
up.
1 minute.
1 minute and 10 seconds.
So,
Maurice, you-
Paul, get ready because you're number 2. So, yep.
Hey, Maurice,
Yup.
you prepped? You
This
pumped? You ready?
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
This is, by the way, the only podcast of the year that's going to have an indefinite end time.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when this thing's going to end. Hopefully, with the draft on a 10-team
It's
team.
not going to
it's
take
like
too
an
long.
hour
yeah,
and 15.
it's not
something
going to
like
take
that.
too long.
So, and then once we're done, we might have a little wrap up if there's something particularly fascinating to talk
Some
about.
witty banter. If you will.
Some witty banter. We may trash each other's teams or something. We'll see. What
We
happens.
really
no,
do.
we're
So
definitely
we'll
going
play
to
it by
do
ear.
that.
we always support wrapping it up at the end. So.
Of course.
Wrap it up, B.
Who doesn't want to wrap it up?
So.
Have to. Yeah, be careful these days. I don't know where Mark's
Zing.
been. I'm gonna wrap
That's
it
true.
up.
It's a good point.
I'm not married.
You ready?
I'm so ready.
He's so ready.
All right, Houston, give us a countdown.
He's gonna draft the Swiss guy.
I'm gonna have a panic attack and be like, ah! Who'd
I
you
would
pick?
like to
I
point
don't
out though
know.
that Yahoo Fantasy sent me an email 30 seconds before the draft starts. Hey, your draft's about to start.
It's nice of him.
30 seconds.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
Draft starting
Woo!
now.
Ah!
And we
Yay.
are double live
So
now.
we
Maurice,
are
you
live.
are on the clock.
Making it happen, Maurice.
I hit somebody.
Oh, that's a Ray Rice joke. Zing!
No, that could be a
yeah.
Merriweather joke.
It could be, yes, absolutely.
And coming from the only Skins fan in the room, I hate that guy.
And
we should probably mention that. So your allegiance is with the Redskins. You
I was born. I was
you
born
poor
and
son
bred.
of a gun.
I was born and bred a Redskins fan.
Mike is a Ravens fan.
yes.
Maurice, who's your squad?
I'm a Ravens fan and old school Bills fan.
Old
Oh,
School
timeout,
Bills.
timeout. So we got LaShawn McCoy off the board at 1, and Calvin Johnson went number 2.
Whoa.
We
and
have
Peyton's off the
Peyton
board
Manning at
3.
number 3. So we do
Nice.
have an unorthodox draft so
Yeah,
far.
It's all right.
It's a little bit.
Just a little
strange.
bit, not much though.
And,
So-
I'm not terribly
I
upset.
like to,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure Justin's gonna definitely. Oh, he took Peterson. So
Peterson.
Jamal Charles is still there.
Say, not for long.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
And then as you can see, I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm a sports bigamist. I root for the Ravens and the Falcons.
All
When
right.
they play each other like they do this year, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm saying it out
that's
loud
all right.
because my tablet is being stupid. It actually locked up on me.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, it'll auto draft Jamal anyway. So.
That is who I was going to draft.
All right, Jamal Charles going 5th?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
That's strange. He's normally a number 1 or a
Wow.
number 2.
it's out of place. So that's due to Peyton Manning and Calvin Johnson being bumped up a bit. But hey, I can't argue. I traded a keeper for Peyton Manning, so in another league.
Yeah,
So,
Mike and I share a team. We had the number 1 pick and took Jamal Charles. So
Yeah, that's good value at
that's
5.
good value at 5. Absolutely.
Gotta love it. Tablet running great the entire time, and then all of a sudden it decides to crap out.
All right, so it took it.
Did
Yep.
Yeah, it took
Sweet.
Charles for you.
Excellent.
So I'm up now. I didn't think Matt Forte would be here. I really wasn't gonna pick a running back with my first pick, but I'm going to have to because he's still here. So I'm taking Matt Forte,
Very nice.
and let's see who's up. Brian's up now. I'm sure he's thrilled to see some of the people there that are still left.
Now the debate here is: do you take Eddie Lacy
Right.
or do you take Demarius Thomas or Jimmy Graham?
Yeah. I mean that is actually really tough.
The argument here for Graham is that you can just dominate one position,
Right.
especially since it's a PPR league. In my opinion, the gap between Graham and I guess Gronkowski, who's number 2,
And Julius Thomas.
and Julius Thomas is a pretty wide gap.
It's pretty deep. Yeah.
I wouldn't want Gronk on any of my teams because I can't get burned by that guy.
All right. Brian
Eddie
got
Lacy.
Demarius Thomas, and then Eddie
And
Lacy
then Eddie
went
Lacy,
8.
all right. So
Take
Which I like that pick by Brian because Thomas is going to be an absolute monster this year.
Yeah.
I wanted to
can't-
take him,
I
but
can't argue.
with Forte there, I felt like I needed
I know
to
this.
take him.
I know this is a wide receiver heavy league, but it's hard to not go running back
Yeah.
first. It really is.
So kids, this is where I try and conjure up who Beats by Ray's going to take so that I can avoid taking him so that I can get him on the comeback.
You're not going to win that.
I'm not going to win that fight, so I'm just going to take the best guy here and go Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Because why fight it? Let's see here.
It's funny. He's probably one of the first tight ends in the last that I actually can remember that is a legitimate first-round pick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even as good as Jason Witten was, or even Jeremy Shockey back in the day, they weren't even close to being first-rounders.
Nah.
Not at all. So we've got the 10th person here is going to get back-to-back picks. Let's see what he does.
Same. Truly, and actually, I think in this draft is probably the best spot to be in.
I love getting 10th and 11th picks. I like having the back-to-back picks.
It is
but-
nice, and honestly, this draft is kind of widespread.
Yeah.
So at least this year it is.
All right.
It takes Des
It
Bryant.
took Dez and Monte Ball.
You can,
First round is in the books.
There you go, first round down.
that's wow. You can have Monte Ball. I'm not even gonna.
See,
lie.
That's a
I
good point. Bring
disagree.
him up. Let's talk about him.
I'm a
'cause-
fan of Monte Ball only because he has a starting role in a huge offense.
prolific.
Prolific
You might even
offense,
say.
and one that throws to the running back.
He has basically no competition behind him, in my opinion. I know there are literally guys like in the backfield, but I don't buy into him.
I'm going to go with AJ Green because
Very nice.
it's safe.
Mhm.
And I'm going
It
to
is
go
a
with
very
that.
safe play.
Yeah, Monte Ball's an interesting talking point only because if you hit on Monte Ball and you take him in the right spot, you can carry him to your league championship. But if he falls on his face and he can't pass block, then you've just wasted a first-round pick.
And if you hit on Monte Ball and touch him in the right spot, you can take him back to your hotel room.
You could. You could probably. I don't know Monte, but probably you could. Yeah, it's possible. The other thing is that Ronnie Hillman is not really scary at
No.
all, and C.J. Anderson.
I would
is
appreciate it more if he
concussed,
actually went to
so-
Hillman.
Drew Brees.
well-
Thank
and
you.
our fearless leader takes Drew Brees.
Sorry.
Mike just dropped a different world reference. Wow, that's pretty great. That's great.
I was trying to skip over it, but
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I'm impressed.
That's amazing.
I'm a little mad. I'm a little salty I couldn't get Drew Brees. Thanks a lot, Tony.
I love you too, guys.
Drew Brees,
I think that was
solid
sarcasm.
pick there. So now, if you look at who's on the board still, Marshawn Lynch is another real controversial pick.
It's called pick when the guy's going to start to deteriorate.
Right. Yeah, that's the fun part.
Which I lost that battle last year with Arian Foster.
Oh, you absolutely did.
But I had to keep going with him.
Yeah, and, it's fun to try to guess when the guy's gonna hit his breaking point.
Not to mention there are two
But-
guys in the backfield with him that are actually pretty good. However you want to say it, Christine Michael. I think his name's literally Christine.
It's Christian.
Christian.
It's spelled
Okay.
Christine though.
He's pretty legit, and so is Robert Turbin. I mean, he's been a career
Yeah,
backup,
Turbin's
but
alright.
I mean, if he goes down, if Lynch goes down, they're not going to be in any trouble. Let's put it that way.
Someone will
Very true.
inevitably take Christian Michael a round or two too early
Yeah.
in every draft. That's how it always happens. But
Oh,
oh,
quarterback run. Guess what?
Quarterback
I'm
run.
bearing down. I'm going
Uh-oh.
all Bears.
oh,
Marshall and Forte.
Ooh, now that's an interesting strategy.
Yep.
If you take more than say two guys on the same offense, it's a bit risky. But at least if you're gonna do it on a good offense like the Bears have. So
I mean, if you would have had those two guys last year, you're
Oh, you'd
you're
have
at least
been
in the playoffs. You
on
may be winning
fire,
the
yeah.
championship. So, and I know you can't keep saying last year because that's how you get burned. But
oh yeah,
that's,
absolutely.
That's all we
you
can
gotta
do.
you gotta be forward thinking, but not too forward thinking because then you end up with the guy that gets all the young guys that don't start. I've been in that spot too.
Yeah. You are up. Sir.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I make sure
debating.
your tablet is up and running.
Yeah, no, it seems to be working at the moment.
Until
I'm
you
just-
have to pick.
I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to because I need to start getting into receivers, and he is probably I'm debated between Julio Jones and Alshon Jeffrey.
It's tough.
I'm gonna take Julio Jones.
You're gonna
Yeah.
take Julio.
I'm gonna take Julio. I don't.
We gonna go Julio.
Julio's a big talent.
The question is,
Did you get him? It
Yeah,
didn't.
it went. The biggest question is what's Matt Ryan gonna do?
It hasn't gone.
It hasn't gone
I
yet.
I have him queued.
Yeah, you got to draft him.
There we go.
Bingo.
Um.
All right.
Okay,
I could
good.
just queue him and just wait.
All right. So
Just queue him up and wait for the timer to run down.
Hold on. Did it give it to me?
you did.
It did.
Okay.
You're
You
good.
are on the board. You put it on the board.
Oh, Andre Ellington. Andre Ellington's one of those controversial picks that you either love him or you don't have any faith in him. I personally think he's going to be great. I think it's a little high at 17. But
But
if you like him and you got to have him, then go
Since
get
it's
him.
point per reception, he is going to catch a lot.
He's
of
going
balls.
to catch a lot of balls. Absolutely, he's going to catch
All
a
over the
lot of
place.
passes, and it's going to be a lot of points for that. If he doesn't break down, and if they can keep a competent offense on the field, he'll be good. So now we got the Dagrons.
I want to see how late both Lynch and Murray go in this PPR league because Murray
Yeah.
is considered a guy that does catch passes, but Lynch does not.
I tell you what,
typically.
Murray was a workhorse for me
Yeah.
last year. I actually drafted Matt Forte and DeMarco Murray last year, and I had multiple people tell me I was weak at running back. And I had two of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, ask him that at the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, they were quite salty.
Andre Brown. All right.
Nice. Andre Brown
He's-
had over 100 catches last year.
Pretty much the only weapon right now in Pittsburgh in the air. They got the rookie with Marcus Wheaton, but
Yeah.
he's still a rookie. So, and Heath Miller, old man Heath.
Old man Heath. Who doesn't love him some Heath Miller? There's
Murray's
your boy
gone.
DeMarco
He gone.
Murray.
Marco Murray is gone.
And Maurice goes
And-
with Marshawn Lynch. There you go.
It's not a bad call.
Beast mode.
Hashtag beast mode.
Hashtag beast mode.
I'm not gonna lie. That all started with Mike Tolbert from the Chargers.
Really?
It really did because he just kept going. Every time he would do anything, Mike Tolbert is a beast. That's all I ever heard on ESPN all day, every day.
I just like his truffle shuffle. He does it.
Sorry, I just got the image of
Right.
him doing the dance.
He does it.
I know, and it's hilarious.
It's a fantastic celebration.
So Maurice is going to take
Jordy.
Nelson.
It's not a bad call either. Very effective. weapon.
Flacco.
And wait, what?
Wait,
Flacco? All right.
you were talking about those unlikely high Ravens
so,
picks.
so yeah. Baltimore
Paul.
rears its head.
Oh, my man.
I tell you
Paul.
what, honestly, he's not a.
That's the only quarterback I know. So
We told you they rank them.
I know, but I didn't know any of the other ones. I know
Paulie.
Flacco. There's a difference.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, Paulie. It's okay.
It's okay. It happens.
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
In the draft, Brian says, "Laugh my ass." off."
I don't. Can we say ass on YouTube?
I think we can.
Okay.
It's an animal.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
I'm laughing my donkey off.
All right.
You know what? I hope he does.
Yeah, watch Flacco go for 5,500
Yeah,
yards
right.
this year.
Yeah.
I tell you
That-
what,
this-
honestly,
this-
if he's gonna do it, this is his year.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. If he goes for more than 4,200 yards, I'll buy you a pizza.
Sweet deal.
Let's do that.
Pizza bet. Pizza bet number
Get
one.
every topping you can on there. I want a cheeseburger sub on top. Thanks.
Ew.
It actually sounds pretty good. A
On the
cheeseburger
pizza.
sub
Wow.
pizza.
Okay.
I was thinking, I'm like,
Sounds
that
pretty awesome.
sounds pretty badass.
All right, I think Kyle might be auto drafting at this point.
No, he
No,
shouldn't
he's
be.
on there. He's just in the
He's
chat
just taking
box.
his time.
Oh, he's in the
He's
chat
taking his
box.
time.
Yeah, he was just thinking.
Alshon Jeffrey off the
Good
board.
pick.
Good pick.
He's that guy who runs the clock out on Madden.
Nice.
That's an autos feature now, I believe.
Is it?
If you want to like clock.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this will be the time where we could have a few words about the new Madden.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a big
I
fan.
like our guys.
I like our. Thank you, Buck Showalter. It's another Baltimore reference, folks. No, the new Madden is great. The graphics are a lot better. The animations are amazing. It is harder, but probably just because it's new and there's some new game mechanics. The new defensive features are really great.
Yeah, I hadn't bought a Madden in probably 6 years, but
Oh, yeah.
you kind of convinced me a little bit, but I was interested in picking it up anyway, and I admit they did a good job. It's an actual next generation Madden, and the running game, while
Oh, I just saw that Flacco. Did I miss 10 rounds?
Justin will lay into you some, he's pretty
we
good.
specifically got Justin involved because he will
He is top tier trash talk.
he will crush you with trash talk, and it's always quality trash talk. It's not just it's like that.
He shoots to kill.
Randall Cobb off the board.
Randall Cobb's an interesting guy in a PPR league. He runs the underneath stuff for Green Bay, while Jordy Nelson goes deep over the top. He's going to catch a lot of balls. Hopefully he stays healthy. And that's a really good value at 24, in my opinion. The other receivers out there would have been Keenan Allen, who had a good year last year. But I really think Cobb's got way more upside. So
He does. And everyone's
good
just
on
kind
you.
of scared of San Diego at this point because they had a great year last year, but
Yeah.
traditionally in the past couple, they haven't been great for putting up fantasy points.
I'm
be
going
honest.
to take actually one of Mike's favorite players.
Oh, don't you do it.
I am.
Oh,
he
you're
took
killing
Gio.
me.
He took Gio.
Oh.
I specifically didn't talk about Gio because I wanted Gio to last to me, but it didn't work out.
You want to bring attention to it?
Yeah, I didn't
really
want.
want
Yeah,
to-
Kinda
I
like
hope
somebody
he
was
would
doing a
slide
lynch over
through.
here.
Yeah, Yeah, so
Honestly, I mean, getting Gio at number
Good
25 is a hell of a pick, in my opinion.
I almost took Gio instead of AJ Green, to be completely
I
honest,
wouldn't
a
have-
round ago.
I couldn't have
so
argued
It's
with
a great
you.
pick.
You really messed me up. I might have to call. I might have to call Commissioner timeout on this.
You really messed me up. Oh boy, look at this. You got a whole bunch of stank looking at you here for running backs.
I
my
hate
friend.
all these running backs.
These running
None of
backs
these are
in
going to be on my
PPR
team,
leagues
by
are
the
just
way.
junk.
All of these guys are getting
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
from
In
my
PPR
roster.
leagues, these guys are going to hurt you. You're not going to go Arian Foster again because
No.
you've been burned already.
I'll say I get nervous every time he tries to cut to
Stacy
the
and
outside.
Morris are non-PPR running backs,
Pretty much.
and Martin, we don't know what Martin's going to do. So
I
I
get
don't know
nervous
what
any-
you're going to do around here.
I get really nervous anytime
no
Arian
idea.
Foster goes to the outside because I'm just watching his ankles. Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't,
absolutely.
I don't think he can handle that.
I wanted another receiver because
Keenan
I'm
Allen.
big on receivers. And
All right, Keenan Allen.
I'm not.
nice.
I'm not thrilled with that, but I'll deal
He
with
just
it.
talked about how he wasn't sure about San Diego's offense.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Keenan Allen, but hey,
Well,
whatever. If
mean,
they're going to
that's-
throw to anybody but Antonio Gates, it's going to be Allen. So
Yeah.
if you believe in Phil Rivers, then Allen's a good pick, and I do. I have Rivers as my starting quarterback in one league. I think he's decent, depending on where you get him, and that's the biggest concept in fantasy, really, guys. Is it all depends on where you can take him. If
It's
you
about
get a
your
guy in the
value.
right spot, it's a good value. If you don't, you don't. So
I shall
everybody's draftable. It just depends on where. So.
Well, almost everyone.
Well, I mean, not Flacco. I mean, but that's sorry, Paul. That was awful. Paul wins the league, by
No,
the way.
I'm-
Easily.
I'm-
Because that's how
that's
it
what I'm
works
saying
out.
I was
is
just
Yeah.
about to say he's gonna
Paul's
crush
gonna run
everyone.
roughshod
I play
over
his team and
everybody.
Flacco's going to drop 4 TDs on me
Absolutely,
easily.
that's how it goes. That
Gonna
is
make it
the beauty of
rain.
fantasy.
Yep.
Zach Stacy.
Zach Stacy's one that his career yards per carry is fairly low, but especially now with Bradford gone, he is the centerpiece of that offense. So if they're going to put up any points, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't he gets the majority of the goal line as well? He's pretty much their full feature.
Oh, he's their full-time
Yeah.
running back. Doesn't catch a lot out of the backfield, but if you're going to take a guy between him and Morris and Foster and these guys, I guess he's the best
Mm-hmm.
one. If you take Foster, you're just hoping the guy stays healthy.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm up at this point, and I'm in the same spot that you were in because there's not that many more guys taken off the board. This is where I could have taken Julius Thomas had I not taken Jimmy Graham, but that's okay. Bygones be bygones. I'm in need of a running back, which means I'm going to... Boy, oh boy. I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, all right.
Um,
You just you didn't want to puff pass on that pick. You wanted to.
I wanted to
take
make it
control of that
count.
situation.
Yeah, I want to take control of it. Yeah, I'll take Bell. Bell's a guy that's got a lot of upside, so we're gonna go with him. And now 2 for Beats by Ray. We'll see what happens here.
Okay, I was gonna say if he doesn't take Doug Martin,
Took Doug Martin.
I agree with that pick just because he can't.
Right.
If he's healthy, he will be a very good value.
As
at
we
that
were
pick.
as we were just saying, we're not crazy about Doug Martin, but getting Doug Martin at 30th is not
Yeah.
a bad deal.
Absolutely.
I almost did it, but I just couldn't do it.
No, I know that this gentleman is a Redskins fan, so I know he probably was torn, but in a PPR league, I don't think anyone has ever said Morris is a PPR champion. So
Now, Beats by Ray just took the guy I was going to take.
yeah, Roddy
which
White.
is Roddy White. I like Roddy White for a comeback year, not because I'm a Falcons fan, but because before he was hurt, he was catching 80, 90 balls a year, and he was a top 10 receiver. So, good pick. What can I say? That's that one got me. Now, here's a value pick for you. I'm going to go with Arian Foster.
Oh,
he's got a rough back.
You did it.
But I did it. I can't pass him up at 32.
That's fine.
He's a guy that I'm going to take at 32, and if everything goes right, he could be a top 5 running back. So, if I didn't need running backs, I wouldn't, but that's why it's.
And if everything goes wrong, you'll have more time to
Everything
analyze the
goes
fantasy
wrong,
playoffs
yeah,
for
I'm
us
gonna
because you
have
won't be in
to-
it.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
what is this? This is 10 teams. How many make the playoffs in this league?
6. I
6,
was
okay.
generous.
That's
I was
good. I like
generous in
that.
this league.
That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
No Sean Moreno goes off the board. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that pick.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just,
mean, it's-
I'm just gonna say it.
No, honestly, I
we're supposed
agree.
to be analysts here,
Yep.
so I'm just gonna have to say it. Don't like No Sean.
It's just there's too many questions. Some people have Lamar Miller having him starting over Noshawn at this point. Noshawn could have been a product of Denver, just their offense in
He
general
was
last
absolutely
year.
a product of Denver.
Yeah.
Victor Cruz.
Cruz.
Cruz is gone.
Cruz is off the
So
board.
now I'm up.
Mike's up again. Alfred Morris still staring him in the face.
Nah, dog. Nah. I'm going to go. I'm feeling a little thirsty, so I'm going to get some Orange Julius.
Oh,
right
some
now.
Orange Julius. That's a great pick.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a big fan of his.
Julius Thomas, what can you say? Guy had a big year last year, missed a couple games with some injuries, but other than that, he's a great tight end.
With Welker most likely being out for a little bit, if not
Yeah.
a long bit, then that opens up a lot of extra red zone
No,
Got a
opportunities.
nice
there.
spread.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you what, actually, because it's my pick now, I'm going to take probably one of the best PPR pickups from last year. And being the Redskins fan that I am, I'm taking Pierre Garçon.
Pierre Garçon.
He did not have a single game last year under 10
Yep.
points. Not
True.
one.
Yeah.
The guy was a PPR monster.
And I watched most of the games with you.
Now it's a
He
little
was
bit more
beast.
crowded on the line this year. He's
It is.
got a new receiver mate.
I tell you what, Deshaun Jackson is still one of the fastest receivers in the league, so he is going to pull some serious coverage. And Pierre Garçon is just a big bruiser.
You're just hoping that with the or the head coach rather with Gruden there, they're gonna just throw all the time basically.
which that's the MO.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with a threat like Alfred Morris, because he is a great back. He's not a great fantasy back,
Right.
but he is a great back, and he is always a threat.
Definitely.
Like honestly, I loved it when they still had Alfred Morris and Fred Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nasty two-headed
It
beast.
kind of was. We
until
talked about
Jackson
Fred.
went down.
Fred's got slacks. So, yeah, we have a interesting thing with Alfred Morris and Ryan Matthews, because Matthews was hated in the fantasy community, still is by many,
Oh,
because
still is.
he was a
Absolutely.
bomb for 2 straight
Yeah.
years. But then last year
wow.
he actually turned out a very reliable season. He had double-digit touchdowns if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have rapid fire: Toby Gerhart, Reggie Bush, Percy Harvin, and Fitzgerald. So Harvin, kind of a risky pick, but can pay off massively, especially at 38th, 39th overall.
39th.
It's not a bad pick.
Because he's a freak when he's healthy, and that's just been the problem.
Well, it all really depends if his Castle or Bridgewater are going to be starting.
No.
Oh, no,
He's,
sorry,
he's in Seattle.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Forgive me.
So he's in good hands up there if he can stay healthy.
True.
All right, Jordan Cameron.
Jordan Cameron's a nice tight end. Interesting that I don't think Gronk is gone yet.
No, he has not.
Wow. All right.
Well,
so
he's sponsored by Switzerland right
he
now.
is
So.
he is also a peace-loving nation. Yes.
You're gonna remain.
He's waving the
neutral
injury
right now?
flag. Yes.
So this is where things get a little interesting. We're in round 5. This is where teams without quarterbacks start thinking about quarterbacks.
Yes. Or just continue to ignore them.
Or just, yeah, that's a strategy too. We've got a lot of sleepers at quarterback. Quarterback's a pretty deep
Paul,
position.
you dirty, dirty man. I wanted Shane Vereen.
Paul took Shane Vereen.
I really wanted Shane
Now,
Vereen.
that's a good pick.
Now, Paul, I got to give you kudos on this one, because this is in my opinion, outside of Pierre Thomas, who we'll probably see later, the number one biggest difference between a PPR and a non-PPR player you're ever going to find.
Yeah.
Shane Vereen is useless in a non-PPR league.
Yeah.
But in a PPR league, the guy catches a lot of passes, and he's in an offense that loves to throw out of the backfield.
Yeah, that's a nice
Good pick. No, I mean,
That'll help pick up the points when Flacco doesn't score.
he's a top
So.
he's a top 45 player in PPR. In non PPR, what do we think? Like a 10th rounder probably,
Combo breaker.
11th rounder maybe.
Wow.
just about
I mean,
there.
you're just
yeah.
getting him for the catches.
Right.
Now, he can break one. He's got good speed, and hey, who knows? By the end of the league, he could start. But you know,
Djax is gone.
Michael Floyd's a good pick.
Floyd is pretty good. A lot of leagues have Floyd either right next to Fitzgerald and or before him by a pick or two. So
Floyd's an up and comer.
they're going to throw the ball a lot in Arizona for sure.
I'm still not ready to give up on Fitzgerald though.
No, I'm not either.
especially in a PPR
He's an
league.
elite talent. He
But
still
I'm-
almost got 10 or double-digit touchdowns last year. Or
He did.
He
had
did
10.
actually. Yes.
Yeah, he didn't hit 1,000 yards, but he had 10 touchdowns.
And he even looked good. I mean, granted for what preseason's
you are.
worth. I know.
Okay. I lost track. So
I'm paying attention. I still got a minute.
55 seconds.
It's whatever.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Alfred Morris.
he's just chilling.
I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't take Alfred Morris if you're okay with Toby Gerhart. I mean,
Well, yeah, I don't understand that really
God
either.
bless
but
the white running backs, by the way.
the
I mean,
Ger-
I'm just gonna say it.
Gerhart, he's just an animal. Like at least from what we've seen of him,
But he doesn't catch passes.
he doesn't catch any
And
passes.
his offense is terrible.
And yeah, Jacksonville is very unproven.
I didn't want to double dip on the Redskins offense, even
Oh,
though
but
I'm
you
a
gotta
fan.
get
yeah,
him.
you
You
do.
gotta get him.
I'm gonna take him because
You
that's a great
homer.
flex play.
Absolutely.
I'm flexing Alfred Morris. That's a
He's
pretty
flexing.
good. That's a pretty
Flexing
good idea.
Alfred Morris.
Straight flexing.
Straight flexing.
All right, so this sucks for me again. So this,
I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's the best guy to draft with ever. He
This
hates
sucks.
everything. It's
Everything
amazing.
sucks.
Hates everything. It's the best.
Honestly, if I didn't take Julius Thomas already, I'd probably go with the
Just
Swiss.
take Rashad Jennings for the 80th time in fantasy this year. You love Rashad Jennings. Who doesn't?
When you put all your football players in one basket,
That's true. That's a good
you
point.
know, it's
It's a fair
a
point.
fun picture, but
You could go quarterback.
no, I'm not doing that at all.
That's-
I'm gonna take Vincent Jackson as a third wide receiver. I'm not gonna argue with that pick.
No, you can't argue with that at all.
So I don't buy in completely into the Mike Evans rookie hype. So I mean, I think he's gonna have a decent season for a rookie.
Well, you
but-
actually want Evans to do something.
Yeah, because he
he'll
distracts.
take the heat off of Jackson.
But I mean, Jackson keeps putting up 1,000-yard seasons, usually about 70, 80 catches. I'll take that in my third receiver spot
Absolutely.
all day. And I'm just choosing to wait on running back at this point. I just don't. Whatever.
Who you got so far?
I mean, I got Forte. I mean, my whole team.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as running
Right.
back, you got Forte. It's a good start. You'll find another guy.
It's funny. This is a wide receiver heavy league, and I
Yeah.
went running back heavy immediately.
Well, you sometimes you take what's given to you.
Honestly,
so
they were all sitting there waiting, so I
Yeah.
couldn't let them go.
you'll just
and-
be listening into our waiver wire show every week.
That's very true. Well, I'll be a part of the show
Yes.
as well. But honestly, and also the inner Redskin fan in me was like, Alfred Morris is still there.
You can't. Yeah.
And obviously, eventually, Griffin's gonna get hurt,
Right.
and they're gonna lean on Morris hard. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to. I honestly, I have full faith in Kirk Cousins. I really do.
Spoken like a true DC fan.
Like a true
Yeah.
DC fan.
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
absolutely.
same name.
yeah, you know.
You know, I have to.
Got to stick with the Kirks.
And honestly, though, he's smarter in the fact that he'll throw the ball away.
True.
He won't take off
True.
running and get hit by Haloti Nada and wreck his moneymakers in his legs.
Brian went with the popular hype pick this year with
Oh.
Corduroy Patterson. I'm
I was-
sorry, Cordero.
Cordero.
I always thought it was Corderell because
Nah,
that's
it's
really how it
Cordero.
looks. But then
Yeah.
he started like as he got better, Sports Center was actually saying it properly,
Yeah.
and it really
This is my
surprised
brother
me.
Daryl, and my brother Cord.
That's an old reference right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
what was that from?
That's from Newhart.
Yeah,
I was like,
my
yeah,
brother Daryl,
that's-
my other
yeah.
brother Daryl.
yeah.
That's from Newhart.
So,
All right.
Maurice, you got some time here, but what are you thinking? Let's get into the mind of Maurice right now.
The
Right now, I was gonna pull the one thing I was told not to do. I was
Oh, okay, no, don't say it. But yeah, I understand.
Keep it a secret. Keep it under wraps.
no. Well, we were watching this podcast, and this guy got beat down. It was amazing.
All right. Well,
I have a feeling I'm gonna end up with Tony Romo. Just somehow, I have a
As
feeling.
a Redskins fan, that's
As a-
making your stomach bubble.
It's like that's why I love August 8th. It's National Cowboys Day. 8-8 all year.
you
Got
know
him.
what? Somebody's
Wow.
gonna do it. I guess I'll take Rashad Jennings.
Yeah, you will.
It's kind of a boring pick, but I
It
gotta have
is.
somebody in case Aaron Foster's
I
back
didn't
doesn't
realize how
work.
old
And
he
the thing
was.
is, though, he's still going to be a workhorse because let's face it, they have no QBs.
Oh, he's the
in New
starter. I
York.
mean,
Their
you know.
offense looked like an atrocity in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but like
I heard some
they just
stat,
ran
like-
around like they were in the backyard
I
somewhere.
heard some stat like they didn't throw a ball over 10 yards.
No.
For the entire preseason.
Oh man!
Like,
All right, so Emmanuel Sanders went.
Emmanuel Sanders.
I wanted Sanders,
Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders.
the Colonel.
Now in Denver.
Yeah,
Um,
I like him a lot.
you're gonna. It's either boom or bust for old Emmanuel.
He's looked real good in the
He's
preseason,
looked good in the preseason.
and you know, everyone likes to just hit Wes Welker in the head. He's gonna be wearing a Don Beebe helmet sooner than later.
Oh, he already is. It's huge.
At least you get that, yeah. Look like the Great Gazoo from the Flintstones.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Oh man, that makes my head hurt. I love it though, but it makes my head hurt.
All right, so
Sanders and Macklin went back to back. That
Sanders and Macklin went back.
pretty
to
good,
back.
pretty good mid-range receiver picks there
Um,
with high upside.
for this league, I'm gonna have to get a receiver here to go with AJ Green.
Yeah, he's good, but he can't. You have to start two other
Yeah, I
receivers.
gotta
So
start two other guys.
So he's not going to catch 400 yards a game.
No, he's not. I will go with Michael Crabtree.
yeah, Crabtree's kind of flying under the radar a little bit because again, the 49ers also looked putrid on offense in the
And he was
preseason,
hurt
and he was
almost
hurt.
all
yeah.
of last year.
Yeah.
But
I did pick him up late last year, and
Yeah.
he put up one decent game for me.
he's an elite talent though when he's on the field.
But
So,
again, it's that whole can he stay healthy?
yeah.
Yeah. And Kaepernick likes him.
I was
They're
honestly,
bros.
I was not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping he was gonna stick around to my next pick because I probably would have taken him, but
Because you are dying for receivers at this point. Because you've got every running back
Well, hey,
in
you know
America.
Frank Gore's still
I
out there,
still
so
have yeah.
Frank Gore is still
he's a strong flex.
I don't need a fourth running back. I really don't.
This is where, in wrestling parlance, I go heel again. Eric Decker's terrible. I'm not going to lie.
No, he
He was propped up by Peyton Manning
and the rest of that offense.
and the rest of that offense. He's going to get quadruple teamed or whatever it is in New York, and
Again.
Gino's not going to be able to get him the ball.
And neither is Vic, because let's face it, Gino's going to go down. And Vic's
I'm
gonna
looking
come
at
in.
probably 750 yards, 6 touchdowns, basically. Like that's kind of a rough estimate for that guy.
I mean, he's a big receiver. He's
got to do something.
He's got talent.
They're a
I'm
professional team
I'm
on the
really,
field.
I'm really talking more about the team than the player.
Right.
Decker's not a bad player talent-wise, but that offense is awful. I'm sorry.
It is.
So he's a product of a bad situation.
He's going to go from product of a good situation to product of an awful situation.
Yeah.
But he's the number one guy.
And let's
He'll certainly
see.
get targets.
Let's see. On that squad.
That is the Overlord squad, by the way.
Yeah, so Andre Johnson, number 1, Eric Decker, number 2, but he has Drew Brees and Eddie Lacy and Vernon Davis. So there's still a lot of scoring opportunities on that team.
Yeah, hey.
But yeah, a lot of places have Decker
Spiller.
kind of slotted in as a flex play,
Right.
in a lot of projections. So CJ Spiller,
Thank
glad
God C.J. Spiller got taken because
I'm glad I didn't have to do anything with that.
Spiller's got a lot of talent, but he is a China doll.
So again, it seems to be a broken record here if he can stay healthy.
Mhm.
Nothing will kill you quicker than injuries, that's for sure. And you really can't predict who's going to stay healthy and who isn't. But
No.
sometimes you just got to know when to say when. But at this point, Spiller's not a bad value, especially if it's not that particular team's number one running back, which I don't think it is. So
True.
if you don't have to lean on him too hard, it'll be all right.
I hate this, just like most
of course
things.
you do.
I got Ryan Matthews.
Ryan Matthews.
Got to take him. He's
Hey,
been
man.
showing some catching ability recently.
He's starting running back on a decent offense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
San
That's
Diego
all I can really
Chargers
say.
number 2 in Football Outsiders DVOA stat last year.
What is
number,
that?
Number 2 offense in the league, based off of it's some sort of, Rube Goldbergian equation based
Yes.
on who you played, when you played them, how well you did, how many points you scored, and all the rest of it. It's supposed to be a truer gauge than yardage of what an offense can do, and they were ranked number 2 in the
Behind
NFL
Denver?
last year, behind I believe Denver. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't hold me to it, but I believe
Yeah.
that's correct. The Lion-O's are back around again.
Yeah.
Any more Redskins left?
Oh, there's plenty, but
RG3's out there.
Yeah,
Jordan
that's-
Reed.
That's not going to happen.
Jordan Reed's a nice sleeper.
Yeah, because he's still home in bed.
Literally sleeping.
Absolutely.
You got 30 seconds.
I do have 30 seconds.
Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Now, the one that's jumping out at me at this point is Gronk.
Yeah.
Who's going to take Gronk
I've
and
been-
ride that train?
I've been thinking about it, and I'm probably gonna do it just because I have no tight end. And honestly, if he stays
Might as
healthy,
well.
if he stays healthy, he is by far the best pick that's left.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
High-
a he's a
high
difference
upside
maker.
guy.
I know he's already listed as apparently questionable, but
Nah,
it's
Aren't-
whatever.
aren't we all?
He's questionable
Yeah.
every year.
Torrey Smith, Baltimore represent.
Smith
Smith.
off the board.
Ah, crap.
So Justin's liking the Torrey Smith. I mean, if
that was probably gonna be my next
yeah.
pick.
I mean,
so.
at this point in the draft, that's not out of the realm.
He's the number 1 receiver with some upside.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really do think Flacco's gonna have a good year this year. Not gonna have a blow up Peyton Manning year like last year, but I think Flacco's gonna have a solid year.
As a Ravens fan though, and a fantasy football fanatic, we've been hearing it for 6 years straight.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
The next year, it's going to be the next. Yeah, this is
Honestly,
the year.
If we could get playoff Flacco from the Super Bowl year
Oh,
for
well-
16
Oh, well,
games,
yeah.
he'd be.
He'd already have a bronze statue outside of M&T Bank Stadium.
I know, because that run was unreal. Where did
Yeah.
that Flacco go?
He'd be on the Ring of Honor while still playing.
Yeah.
They would have just put him up there in the halftime of one of the games.
They would just have him throw the football to break lights and spell Flacco at the top of the
Exactly.
stadium.
Like he's the natural.
Absolutely. Remember that Vic Powerade commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Flacco can do that.
Interesting side note. I watched. Don't ask me why. I came up on YouTube at one point. The It was like a quarterback skills competition from college when he was a senior. He outthrew all of the people that year
Flacco?
by like
Oh,
15
yeah.
yards. He threw on his last attempt, I think he threw over 80 yards in the air.
Yards. 84 yards is where it landed.
Right.
84 yards.
Doesn't necessarily mean he's accurate at that distance, but not many people can just get the ball down the
Tell you
field
what,
that
though,
far.
the thing is, Kyle Bowler could throw at 65 yards from his knees. Of course,
also-
is where he
Yeah.
spent most of his career.
Yeah,
but
Ravens fans,
Free time.
Ravens fans all saw that video, and so
Yeah.
did Brian Billick, and that's why we ended up with him for
the golden child.
Yes, folks, this is the only fantasy podcast where we bring up Kyle Bowler.
Yeah,
I think that's the only time.
that's
you're
our
gonna get
claim to
that reference.
fame right there.
Yeah.
Deep dive, weird references.
All
is what
right,
we've got
Andrew
here.
Luck. I like that pick.
Andrew Luck, nice pick.
And we had a little tight end run there for a second. Jason Witten and Greg Olson off the board.
Love the old guys. Andrew Luck's a
I'm
bit of
gonna
a
do
hot
that,
button
but-
topic.
Yeah.
Olsen went.
Olson's
Yep,
gone.
Olson's gone. So what do we think about Andrew Luck? Is he gonna? He had 23 touchdowns
I
last
like
year,
him.
rushed for a couple. Is he gonna get better?
Yes.
I think so.
Uh,
He's another one of those. He's raw talent that just needs to be molded properly.
he's got Reggie Wayne back.
He got
So
Wayne
that's
back.
good. He's
They
got-
added Hakeem Nicks or whatever.
He's got Dwayne
but-
Allen back too, which
and,
is a little
yeah.
bit underrated. Justin Tucker, gosh darn it, Justin Tucker. Look at this guy.
I don't
Wow.
even care.
Did you not remember the things we
I
spoke?
did. I just don't care.
All right, hey,
I,
That's
I
all right,
told you I was,
like
gonna
a
do the,
Tron.
I was gonna do the one thing.
whatever you like.
Everyone told me not to do. 'Cause
Justin Tucker, best tackling kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, they told him to stop.
Some
that.
bitch is fearless.
He is.
Yes, he is.
He loves it.
There was going to be my next receiver pick. Was actually going to be T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton. Who doesn't love him some T.Y.?
You just because you clicked the star.
Click on his name.
Yeah, you gotta go
There
up
you
to
go.
draft that guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was actually who got picked. I thought that's who Paul picked already. I'm sorry.
And there's Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace.
And there's the obligatory 60 minutes joke that we
Yep,
won't make.
60 minutes. You
Okay.
gotta do it.
I'm taking morally safer next round. The Dagrons are up.
That was quick.
Pierre Thomas.
That was a good pick by him.
Pierre Thomas.
So point per
Sneaky-
reception.
Sneaky PPR league.
Yeah.
Pierre Thomas led all running backs in receptions last year.
Justin's firing off with some
Justin loves
with
the
some
trash talk.
comments.
Can't help himself.
Yeah.
Matt
so
Stafford.
we got a little bit of quarterback run going now.
Of course there is, because I need one, and I'm 4 picks away. So why wouldn't there be a quarterback run?
Right, exactly.
Absolutely. I always time these things out poorly.
Mhm.
Stafford's a guy that's killed me in the past. I don't know what else to say. If you get him in his 1 year when he throws 40 touchdowns, great for you. But
Right.
I don't know when that's going to happen again.
Do need another receiver, and he had a couple good games for me last year. I'm going to take T.Y.
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.'s nice.
T.Y.'s a bit hit and miss, but when he hits, boy, does he hit.
Say it's either he's going to get 20 yards on
Yep.
3 catches, or he's going to get 150 on 10 catches.
Yep.
It's one or the other, and I need a receiver. I'll take that gamble.
That is correct.
I'm going to take the one that a lot of people don't really know what to do with, although most people are pretty high on him. I'm going with Foles.
Nick
You
Foles.
son of a bitch!
Yeah.
God, I was hoping he was going to wait. Because, like I said, I rode that wave.
So
I rode
salty.
those wavy locks all the way to
Yeah.
the championship
So
last
very
year.
salty.
Oh my.
Looks like you're lining up nicely for Romo City.
Romo, heading down to Romo
No,
town.
no, I'll take, if he's there, I'll take Robert Griffin. I'll take Teddy Bridgewater before Tony Romo.
He's not even starting, but I appreciate your
That's
your
my
gumption.
point.
Your gumption.
Well, you know Matt Castle's going to go down.
Yeah.
Whether he gets hurt or they just yank him, he's not going to start in Minnesota very long.
Not gonna lie, it's warm in here. It may be topless time. I might be drafting al fresco.
That's why I opted
So-
for the
Yeah, the cutoff
for the
shirt
sleeves.
was.
Hey, no, this was made this way. I didn't cut the
Oh,
sleeves
okay.
off.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a full redneck.
I'm completely okay.
Saying that driving a lifted truck with a beard that's halfway down my chest. No, I'm not a redneck at all.
Sleeveless from the factory, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. This is stock.
It's not custom.
Engineered sleeveless. Brian loves using all of the clock.
Who doesn't? I mean, really.
I mean, it's there to use, right?
Apparently me.
He's
You're just
te-
like bang bang.
He's testing our broadcasting skills here.
Yeah.
How much time can we fill before the next pick comes up?
I'm gonna say it
Hey,
goes
I
with Ben
can
Tate.
ramble for
I'm gonna say it
hours.
goes Ben Tate.
You're just gonna predict it.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna
throw
go
that out there.
Confucius style.
Yeah.
Now he's going Cam Newton.
Cam is there.
Take Sam Bradford over Romo.
Very nice.
You know, people.
Julian
Edelman,
Edelman.
smart.
Edelman's a smart
Ooh,
PPR
it is.
choice.
It
You know what
really
the thing is? A lot of people rip on Roma, but I gotta tell you, I've had him in a 2-quarterback league. Yeah, shocker, I'm in one of those. And I've kept him a couple years. never underestimate a team that's always behind.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I had just a glorious, like my second greatest moment aside from the Arian Foster pick was I believe last season. They went into overtime, and this was during the fantasy playoffs. I had Romo, or no, it was 2 years ago. Sorry, I had Romo and Miles Austin. Yeah, I know, whatever. So, it was a league that had bonuses. Romo threw.
Was this the Giants game?
He threw like a touchdown, like a 30-yard touchdown, which put Miles Austin over 100 yards and Romo over 350, and I got bonuses for all of that. So like in one fell swoop, I got like 70 points on one play,
Nice.
and I was like, yeah, that's Romo. You're my boy.
Wow, we waited that long for Antoine Baldwin.
Antoine Baldwin.
Antoine Baldwin.
Coming down on Antoine.
All right, I guess it's quarterback time. Here's the strategy, folks. I can either take my boy Matt Ryan and look like a total homer, even though it's the right pick.
I saved him for you. I was gonna
Or
pick him, but I just
I
figured.
can wait and really hold my breath. So I'm going to take Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's a big upside pick this year. He happens to be on the most boring episode of Hard Knocks ever.
I didn't even watch a single minute of that.
It's awful. I mean, I know why the Falcons were like the NFL's 10th choice for that show.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing interesting going on in Atlanta other than on the football field. Even though one of their D linemen married a housewife of Atlanta,
Yeah.
they still can't get anything interesting going. The most fascinating thing on the first episode of Hard Knocks was Mike Smith's tape from when he was the Ravens DB coach when he had a porn stash.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing porn stash.
He had a solid one.
It was incredible.
You should see when Maurice lets his stash grow out.
Nice.
No, it's pretty epic.
It's impressive.
Do it.
It seems to attract 20-year-olds, so no, I'm good.
So Beats by Ray went with Tom Brady and MJD.
All right.
MJD is now on the Raiders. That's exciting.
There's
Not
still
sure
no
what to
reason
say.
to watch
I
a
mean,
Raiders game.
Guy's a starting running back. What can you say? There's nothing else you can really say about that. I'm in a spot where I could try and load up on more running backs. I need a receiver still. Let's see.
See, I want to do that, and everyone.
You want to trade? Put together a trade package for Foles.
I'm gonna go with Joik
I
Bell.
just might.
Joik Bell's a guy that
Joik.
is
Lock.
taken 3 or 4 rounds after Raji Bush, and he is their goal line back and their receiving back. So
Yeah.
hey, I'll take it.
You could do worse.
He
I
was
could do
just
worse.
he was a bust last year for the most part, but I had him for a little while. I thought I picked up a nice sleeper pick, but
The Battletoads with a backup quarterback, but a good one in Dalton.
Dalton was 3rd or 4th in most
Yeah.
scoring setups in fantasy.
Usually
last year.
Breeze was second and Dalton was
just
3rd or 4th. So that's a lot of quarterback points on that team. So we got Brian up now. I'm sure he'll use all minute and 30. What? What's the
Things are falling into place. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Divulge.
Having a rough afternoon.
Torrey Smith did get taken, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And so did Keenan
I don't
Allen.
want to pull any more aggro from you. I'm gonna say that out loud.
So
I
that-
can't wait to pick next.
You're excited about.
I am
who's coming
excited
up?
about this pick.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're happy.
Right.
I like to see you happy.
I don't hate this pick. I hate that pick, Chris Johnson.
That
Dude.
wow.
All right, so Hype Train's pulling into the station. You ready?
Nice. Hype train. Chris Johnson's probably the starting running back in.
He is.
Okay. For what that's worth. I mean,
Are you ready for this?
sure.
Da, 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 da.
It's Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
Nobody likes Brandon Cooks more than my brother
I
Mike.
love it.
He loves Brandon Cooks.
I would go take him
Probably
out for a
because-
nice seafood dinner right
Probably because Brandon
And then
Cooks is
never
not
call
much
him again.
taller. Brandon Cooks is not much taller than you. That's
Right.
probably why.
now. That's
Yes.
fine with me.
He likes that.
He's in an electrifying offense.
He is. He isn't a.
Look, he's a flex play.
I'm not arguing with it. It's not a bad pick.
Someone
he's
bet
their-
me a pizza for some stat lines.
He's in the slot.
I need to offset my pizza bet when I lose when Flacco goes for 4,800 yards.
See, I can't bet against
So-
you because I like him too. I'm
Yeah.
just mocking you. So
That's
it-
fine.
you
I
know,
appreciate it.
It's fine.
Oh man.
You know it's a little bad though when you scroll down in the
Yeah.
Yahoo window.
Oh yeah, when you got to
'Cause I'm like,
the
where is
rankings
this
to find
guy?
him. You feel smart though.
He's not currently ranked anywhere near where I should be drafting right now. So, but it is what it is.
Boy, wow, there's a lot going on. All right,
There's still some good players out there
there's
for
good
sure.
players left, sure.
It's a 10-team league. There's going to be good players to go around.
We got some real controversy coming up here.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's nice.
There you go.
All right.
Honestly, I didn't even have him in my top 10 QBs, but I'm going on a hunch.
He's reliable as hell.
got some of the
Exactly.
most-
He's
we
going
got
to
some
put
of
up
the most-
consistent numbers.
Yeah.
Some of the most hated men in fantasy coming up right now.
Yeah, we do.
Ben Tate. Nobody likes Ben Tate. Everybody's had Ben Tate when he
We
was
got
Aaron
the-
Foster's backup, and Aaron Foster would get hurt, and Ben Tate would come in, and Ben Tate wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Speaking of the other
He's
Tate,
also on Cleveland.
Yeah, we got the tail of the Tates
Say
coming
the
in.
other Tate, Golden
we're,
Tate.
We're going to be double Tated.
Yeah.
Ben Tate got taken. All right.
I really thought about Golden Tate, too.
Well, no,
also-
he's still there.
Also,
I know, I'd say I thought about it. But
also on people's hit list is Cam Newton, which I'm a little surprised he lasted this long. I know I'm one of the guys that passed on him, but I'm a little surprised. Guy can put up some numbers if he's healthy. He does have a cracked rib. But,
You know what? Ribs heal.
Ribs heal.
And they're delicious.
Throw a flab. Yeah, absolutely. Throw a flak jacket on him. He's all good. And then we got Bishop Sankey.
Sankey Panky.
So my problem with Newton's cracked rib is that he's always worn a flak jacket his entire career, and he's still cracked.
Yeah.
He also doesn't dive. He barrel rolls into people's knees.
Yeah,
very
that's
true.
not a good
So,
strategy, really. At
I'm not
all.
sure.
Well, who was it a couple years ago in the NFL that brought in a Major League Baseball player to teach their QBs
That
how
was
to slide?
Philly.
That was Philly.
It was Philly. 'cause
Probably
they
for
wanted to
Vic,
teach
right?
Mike Vic how to
Yeah.
slide. They also brought in space-aged rib protectors for Vic as well.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out.
So they,
So.
they brought in Rollins from the
I think
Phillies.
so,
Jimmy
yeah.
Rollins.
Jimmy
yeah.
Rollins to teach him how to slide.
Adam Jones offered to teach RG3 how to slide after the first preseason game. He tweeted him.
Nice.
Guys got to learn how sometime.
That's some Beltway love.
Yep. All right.
Marcus
Colston. I was waiting,
Colston.
actually. I was going to take him next
Marcus
if he was still there.
Colston. Phil Dawson. Sure. We love kickers. Wes Welker in his big helmet coming off the board.
Good old big helmet Walker. But all joking aside, if he clears up his head injury, he'll definitely put up points.
The guy's a
Now I'm just
PPR
kinda lost.
beast. Let's keep in mind too that it is. Everybody loves looking at the season numbers. You need guys that are going to win on weeks for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
You need big performances.
week by week production is really where it's at. I mean, if you got a guy like Brian Hartline's a great example. Brian Hartline's going to catch 90 balls for about 1,100 yards and like 5 touchdowns, but you're not going to know about any of them.
Yeah, he just
He's
spreads
just,
it out.
It's just going to happen,
Yeah.
and you won't even know. Personally, my style is I'd rather take the upside guy, personally.
Yeah.
And I've been burned by that a million times, but I'd rather take the upside guy than the consistent guy that doesn't have any upside. That's just me.
I'm with you. It's worth taking the risk. It's like a scratch-off ticket. I love those things.
I got a couple winners sitting in my
There
toolbox
you go.
right now.
There you go.
Just got
Nice.
to cash them in.
Maurice is thinking hard about this one.
No.
Ain't got a whole lot of time.
Coming down to 10 seconds. There you go.
Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's an interesting sleeper. The Baltimore defense. My man loves the
Oh,
Ravens.
defensive run. Here it is.
Defensive run. Here it is.
Here it is.
Oh
And we
my
all love
gosh.
this in every draft. Defense is just popping off.
Yeah, this is
I'll let that happen.
This is-
I'll just let that
yeah,
go.
this is the 9th round.
That's
It's a
fine
little
with
sooner than I'm
Defense is not
expecting,
gonna
but
win
that's
you a
okay.
game.
Defenses don't win championships in fantasy.
Well,
Not in
here's the
fantasy.
thing. Here's
They
the
lose
thing.
you plenty of games.
Yeah. Oh, in real life, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about defenses. Defenses are great to have. However, nobody can tell me they know anything about what's going to happen as far as defenses are concerned.
Yeah.
They are the least reliable year-by-year commodity in fantasy football. Seattle's a great defense. Somebody make me a pizza bet they're not in the top 5 by the end of the year in fantasy points. There you go.
Maurice picked up the pizza
Maurice is
bet.
gonna pick up the pizza bet. All right. Just because, and I don't have anything bad to say about Seattle's defense, but it's just from year to year, it's never the same
Right.
5 top defenses. It just never is.
Reggie Wayne was some good value at 84.
Reggie Wayne's coming back
Yeah.
this year. Reggie Wayne,
Yeah,
Up
the
in
man-
years, but
the
he's
man
very
might be
consistent.
old, but
Uh-huh.
he's still doing it.
he's still got hands
still
like
making it
super
happen.
glue.
You taking Gore? He's right there for
Frank
you.
Gore's right there for you. I mean, it's like we scripted it. He's right there for you.
No, I talked.
Nope.
I talked.
No.
I talked crap on the man, and I'm still gonna do it because I need at least one backup running or one backup receiver. If my tablet will catch up to me, and it doesn't want to, this isn't good. It's happening for the second time.
It's happening again.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm taking Golden Tate, just in case it doesn't come back, and it doesn't look like it's going to. So it's gonna auto draft for me, but I'm taking Golden Tate.
Well, Commish.
I'm trying to find the timeout button because I know they have one. I know Yahoo does, but I can't find it right now.
You got 23, 22 seconds.
So
It just
what
it
it
just canceled on me again.
the tablet just
Oh, God.
rebooted itself or something.
Yep.
You got,
Working fine all day.
you
Working
got the
fine
New
all
England
day.
defense. That's strong.
No,
You're good
I-
with that.
I took Golden Tate.
Mike can make it work.
All right, so
For everybody else left in the
So
draft,
everybody else in the draft, Golden Tate is off the board. New England's defense is on the board.
say do not be that douche.
Oh, you're back
and
on.
take Golden Tate.
All right, it's Mike's pick. A couple of interesting options here.
all right, if you want to try this tablet, I don't know why it would be any better, but you're more than welcome to
It's a
try that
newer
one.
tablet, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I'm back up and running now. We'll see how it goes. It lasted for a couple
I would
rounds.
queue someone up. So let's see.
That's a good idea. I am going to.
I
do
hate
so.
everyone.
There's some fun guys out there still.
I am actually. I'm grabbing a taint.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm gonna get him for you.
Thank you.
Yes, next pick you can, because I know someone's going to take him.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick.
So-
We'll work it out.
So basically, I'm gonna.
It's fine.
You
It's
want to
fine.
tell me what your pick was gonna be?
We'll work it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can write on a slip of paper.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't go, I will take that and we'll just do an even trade.
That's great.
Because to be honest with you, anyone in this range, by the time it gets, I'm gonna draft before you anyway. But you know what I'm saying. I don't really care. I'm not being that picky right now because everyone in this range, I could take multiple people. So
Guys, we're coming down to the end of the 9th round.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton's still on the board.
I know that's pretty crazy.
Really didn't want New England's defense.
Pretty crazy.
I might take it, but I really didn't want New England's defense.
So, it's back to me.
No, I didn't want to. It auto drafted for me because my tablet locked up again.
All right.
Come on, Romo's still out there.
And this is actually a
I got
lesson
a
for everyone
quarterback already.
drafting. Make sure whatever equipment you have has been torture tested before you go into an online draft. Not busting on you, I'm saying just in general. That's always a good tip because usually people will grab the laptop that they haven't used in 6 months, like, oh, time to draft.
Yeah.
And it needs like Java updates and it needs just legit Windows updates. Like everything needs to be updated. Then you're like, well, I can't get online right now. So
That's why I'm using my phone. It's a week old.
the Yahoo app on phones and tablets is typically pretty reliable. So
I just made Kendall Wright my third receiver, and I couldn't be less excited about it.
you know what's weird is
But he catches a ton of passes, so.
he did last year. That's the thing. Like I feel like Justin Hunter actually that's his name, right? Yeah.
That's the other guy.
I feel like he may have just as good of a season. We're gonna have to. I'm not pizza betting you.
Well, in a PPR league, I like
Yeah.
Wright better because he's the possession guy.
the other thing is Jake Locker gonna have a full year behind center? Because he
Who
shows
knows?
signs of, you know, I don't want to say brilliance, no, but he shows signs.
No, when he was in the lineup, he actually did okay.
Yep. So you got Frank Gore and Kyle Rudolph back to back. Gore had to get taken advantage, and I don't disagree with that pick. I mean, I think right now Cody's team is stacked on running back, like as far as depth. So it's not gonna hurt him any to have Frank Gore.
Oh boy.
So basically, I'm getting back to back picks. Like I'm drafting, and then I'm gonna tell you
It's
for
fine.
the Golden Tate
But
thing.
what am I going to do about the fact that I have New England's defense?
Yeah, I don't know. This was a bad scenario that I couldn't find a quick solution to. So
Let's see here. I guess I'll take Bishop Sankey and hope that he plays.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking Sankey also, but
Sankey happens to be behind the worst fantasy running back in the history of the world in Sean Green.
Yeah.
So that hopefully comes about and he
Mhm.
plays. Got another kicker off the board.
there you go.
Who just went? I'm sorry. I was helping
Bishop Sankey.
Okay.
And then Adam Vinatieri. I guess this would be the appropriate time for us to give our opinion on kickers. Mine is to not take one.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
I just don't take one, and I take an extra flyer on a guy that may or may not start somewhere or whatever, and then I cut him if I don't need him and take a kicker before week 1. But we are drafting the weekend before the season starts, so that's probably not going to happen for me. I'm probably just going to take one in the last round. Kickers are even more volatile than defenses. Nobody's going to be able to tell who the best kicker in the league is, so draft them at your own risk.
So you're banking on an offense having a decent game, but not a real good one.
Right.
You wouldn't get them inside the 25, but never be able to move the ball after that.
The biggest fallacy is that you take the kicker from the best offense because that guy's just going to kick a bunch of extra points.
Yeah.
You really, like you said, you really want the guy in like
Who's got who
the
team has got
8 to 12 ranked offense that kicks a lot of field goals. Hopefully kicks indoors or in good weather.
that has no goal line back.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that your tablet thing happened after we pretty much had a full roster and we're working on bench players because, yeah, I'm still a little confused how we're going to fix that, but we will.
Yeah.
We will. We'll make it happen.
I have faith in you guys.
You got the touch.
Nice.
To be honest with you, just
Thank you,
if
Ted.
your tablet's working, just draft now and we'll figure something out later. It's fine. Because, yeah, that doesn't make sense if I go back to back here. So
Mikey, you're up.
I know.
Do you have a quarterback yet?
Yeah.
Who's your QB?
Foles.
Oh, that's right.
He took
Foles.
Foles from me.
Who doesn't have a quarterback yet?
Some people have two. I don't know, but I don't.
There's at least 2 teams that don't have a QB.
How long is Cam going to stay on the board?
To tell you what, it's a pretty impressive thing to have Cam Newton as a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going through the teams. I think everybody's got a quarterback.
Yeah. At this point, I'm actually doing that. If nothing else, for a potential trade chip.
So
If-
I was
if-
actually going to if you weren't.
Yeah.
If Foles falls through, you
Yeah.
now have Cam Newton.
So I don't mind that pick.
No, it's a good pick.
Let's see here. I need.
So, and by the way, Mike
defense,
Evans
need a
did go off the
kicker.
board at 94th. So
Yeah.
I think that's about right for Evans. He did go in front of Watkins, which makes sense because Watkins has had some injury issues.
He
and,
re-injured his ribs this
and
week.
he's on the Bills. So there's a lot of talk that EJ Manuel is going to kind of
I don't know
regress,
what-
even though he didn't really progress very
I don't know what
much.
that team's going to do
But
because they got a real issue at quarterback if Manuel can't turn things around.
But generally speaking, after Cooks, Evans was either second or third rookie receiver that usually goes off the board. So it's about the right time for that.
Rookie receivers are tough to hit on. Not everybody can be Keenan Allen, but you
Yeah.
know, at this point in the draft, you're taking a flyer on some guys. So we're in the 10th round.
Yep.
We're getting to about the 100th ranked player here in a couple of picks.
Right.
How's everybody feel about their team so far?
I don't hate it, surprisingly.
No, I
hate it.
I don't hate it. I wish I could have. I wish I could have had enough guts with the 6th overall pick to get a receiver instead of Forte. But when Forte falls to you at
you gotta take
6,
Forte.
but I really like
gotta take
receivers, and since it starts 3
You
receivers,
wanted Calvin.
No, Calvin went at 3rd.
You wanted Calvin.
I actually really wanted Demaryius Thomas.
Okay.
That was. I think he actually is going to be the number 1 overall receiver this year,
It's not a stretch
especially
to
in
say that.
PPR.
Sure, yeah.
I took the Niners defense. If y'all can't see that,
I won't judge
Nice.
you.
Terrence Williams is off the board. Good pick by Justin. I was going to take him instead of Kendall Wright, but I decided on Wright instead. Williams is the number 2 receiver in Dallas.
Pizza bet.
Uh,
Talk to Justin. Who does better?
I can't even guess who would do
Yeah.
better than that. Williams is a good number 2 receiver on a good offense that, as we've mentioned, is going to be behind a lot because their defense is a sieve. So
Yeah, can we talk
Nicely
about how
picked.
bad Denver's defense was last year? Like, it
Didn't
was
matter when you're
historical.
putting up
Denver or
48 points a
Dallas?
game. It doesn't
I
matter.
meant Dallas. I'm
Dallas.
sorry.
Oh, Dallas's
I
defense was
apologize.
bad last year, and it's worse.
I know.
now.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like, it's
That's why Des Bryant put up numbers for me because they
Yes.
always had to throw the ball.
They had to.
and no
sling
one
it.
can cover Des Bryant. I
And
don't
it-
care who you are.
And it was a miracle that DeMarco Murray had the year that he did.
Yeah.
A lot of it was catching balls out of the backfield.
hmm No, Murray's gonna have a good year. I feel too. I just don't like the guy. But I mean, he's going
No,
to have a good
personally,
year.
I think he's an ass.
Well, I don't even know, but personally, just in fantasy purposes, I shy away from him. But
From watching Redskins
Dez?
games and watching
no, from DeMarco
DeMarco
Murray.
Oh, from DeMarco.
from
Murray.
watching post game interviews and stuff, I think he's an ass.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's why he fits in on the Cowboys.
I'm sure he's a drug addict.
Just bad,
criminal.
just bad people.
Drug
Just a
addict.
team full
Hey,
of
it's
bad
America's
people.
team, man.
It is America's team.
America's team.
Lamar Miller, it's pretty good. I like
Lamar
it.
Miller.
He's a starter, probably.
The 100th guy off the board is Lamar Miller. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
He'll
Well,
get
I'm
some. He'll
clueless.
get some run in Miami with a revamped offense.
Here's a good question, being that we're in Baltimore. Who takes the stab at Ray Rice?
Was that a Stabby Ray?
It wasn't.
reference?
It was
Is
not.
a hybrid
no, it's
Ray.
honestly, it would be who
dig?
takes a stab at Ray Lewis.
Right, yeah, no. But seriously, I mean, he's going to miss 2 games. He apparently has been training at 3 in the morning to not make women uncomfortable at the facilities.
Oh, good.
He literally
that's
was.
the truth. They actually had
Um,
a whole article about that.
yeah.
People were uncomfortable that he was in the gym at the same time.
Right.
That he was going to go
So,
on a roid rage and start smacking hoes
Yeah.
everywhere.
but he looks like he's in great football shape. Let's put it that way.
He's like 30 pounds lighter than he was last year.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Oh, this is the team I root for.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for picks to happen,
I got no
I'm gonna
idea
give a
what I'm
free
doing.
plug.
I'm just-
You're fine.
I'm gonna give a free plug to Deadspin.com.
No, I like that. Maurice took Ray Rice. I like
Ray
that.
Rice, nice pick.
Yeah.
It is.
If you haven't read
It's a hell of a
Deadspin.com
yeah, I was about to say if nothing more.
and their Why Your Team Sucks features,
It's funny.
it's amazing.
It's spot on.
Drew McGarry is one of their columnists, and he writes every preseason. He writes a article basically or a post about each team in the NFL and why they suck, and it's hilarious. And most of it revolves around the fans,
Yeah.
and most of it revolves around ownership and how they're awful and all the rest. It has very little to do with what's on the field, and more about to do with the culture of the team and why a particular fan base sucks.
Right.
And he gets Baltimore right every time. He coined the term jorts wearing crabbillies to describe Baltimore fans. And I can't argue.
Purple
I mean,
camo was probably in there
Purple
somewhere.
camo's in there a lot.
Sammy
yeah.
Watkins is gone.
Sammy Watkins off the board.
You also skipped Ruben Randall. Did we talk about Ruben Randall?
We didn't
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
Ruben Randall.
I mean, on an offense that's just falling all over themselves, but he still is probably he's more of a red zone guy than Cruz, in my opinion.
Yes.
Cruz has the deep threat and he has the PPR capabilities, but
Cruz
Randall,
is the slot guy.
yeah, Randall is
I'd
definitely
also
gonna.
give better hands to Randall.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, forgive the whole on top of the helmet catch, but
That was
that wasn't Victor
No.
Cruz. That was who the hell was that?
that was.
That was.
You were at that Super Bowl.
I was at that.
He was
Super Bowl.
literally at that.
That's
The
awesome.
Patriots Giants.
But still, I'd still give the hands.
The guy's not in the league anymore. I can't remember. his
Yeah,
name.
I can't remember his
I'm
name.
drawing a
either.
blank.
There went
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Well,
He's, gonna be
if
like
He's a
back-
popular
If
pick.
you're waiting on tight end, Zach Ertz is a good one to pick.
I was kind of hoping
He's
for
in
a
a great
backup.
offense.
You up?
Yeah.
So, if you're fans of the NFL, not necessarily fantasy, but of the NFL, you got a lot of big names here. You got Tony Romo, you got Cutler, RG3, Kaepernick,
Philip Rivers.
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger is a little underrated as a fantasy quarterback because now they throw a lot.
They
And
do
people
throw
don't
a lot.
realize that.
Yeah.
He actually puts up pretty good numbers as a fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't see it changing much this year. I know they have LeGarrette Blount and they have Le'Veon Bell, but I still see them throwing a lot because I also think that their defense, while they're reloading with younger people, I just don't see them being the defense of old, and they're going to need to be slinging the ball around.
The aforementioned Brian Hartline goes off the board.
Aforementioned. He's a good bye week guy.
Sure. Oh, yeah. You don't have to start him. He's going to fill in for you.
And honestly, let's face it, it's football. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. If Ryan Tannehill develops like everybody seems to think he will, then you'll have a decent pick there.
All right, so
What
it's on
does
me.
Mike want?
I don't like anyone. But yeah, I need wide receiver depth still, since Golden Tate's not actually my own.
Justin Hunter.
He's a Tate on loan right now, so yeah, I'm gonna take Justin Hunter.
Justin Hunter's a second-year player. Big, deep threat. A lot of skills. Not much route running,
No,
but
it's all right.
Hey.
He's gonna be riding my bench.
he's
for a
going to
while.
be very contingent upon Jake Locker staying healthy.
Yeah.
But a good pick at this point. No real bad picks at this point, honestly, because if everything works out, you're not going to play these guys. Very
Yeah,
much,
pretty
so,
much.
you
You're just
know,
looking for depth or
you're
lottery
looking for
picks.
Depth, lottery picks, handcuffs, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about handcuffs. So we all have players that we could possibly handcuff people to.
Yep. And no
Um,
one's done it yet.
Nobody's done it yet. A lot of handcuffs still left. As far as the top guys, you got Niall Davis backing up Jamal Charles. You've got one of two guys backing up Arian Foster that I'm probably going to have to choose from at some point between Alfred Blue and Jonathan Grimes, neither one of which have proven anything. So
You got
that's a real
Sproles.
toss-up. Sproles isn't really the backup to McCoy. Sproles is going to get his own workload. I don't really think we know who the backup to McCoy is at this point.
I still consider him a backup, but I know what you mean. He's more of a complimentary back, but
Right.
he would get a more of a starring role if
Yeah.
McCoy goes down. And then you got Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde.
Has been very sought after in later rounds because he looks like he could definitely kind of take up where Frank Gore is going to leave off
Hyde's
eventually
got a lot
whenever
of
he
talent.
yeah
No,
whenever
Hyde's
he
got a lot of
ends
talent. If
his
you're in a
career.
dynasty league, Carlos Hyde is a guy you should target.
Oh, you're up, Mark.
Gore can't run forever, so. Let's see here. What do we got?
But back to Maurice taking Ray Rice. I was going to if you didn't.
I was
because
too. I was thinking about it.
2 weeks is nothing. People waited for Josh Gordon to hit the field last year, and he destroyed people all season after he actually hit the field. Doesn't matter that he was suspended for, 4 games last
4
year?
games.
So, I mean, it's like, if he's a good player, he's a good player. So, we'll see what happens. I personally, even as a Ravens fan, don't think Taliaferro, Forsett, or Bernard Pierce is really a number 1 running back, and I don't think they're going to steal Ray Rice's job from him, in my
I
opinion.
don't think so
But
either.
not to mention Pierce might not play with the head injury.
Pierce is concussed, but he's back in practice.
They
Yeah.
said it was mildly concussed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still concussed.
It
That's
is
still bad.
Concussed.
Calvin Benjamin's gone. I kind of wanted him, but I didn't want to reach on too many rookies. And
And
you
I
got
took Romo.
and you got Romo.
I
Mark
took
got
Romo.
Romo.
Needed a backup quarterback. You could make the argument that you don't really need a backup quarterback in a 10-team league, but when Romo's sitting there,
Mhm.
I'll go for it.
Right.
Phil Rivers is still out there.
I know, that's-
if I could turn back time, I would. Yeah, nice share reference. I know. I probably would not have taken Matt Ryan where I did if
Yeah.
I could get Romo and then take Phil Rivers to back him up. But
That's
hey,
the thing. Everyone hates Romo so much. He always falls so late
yeah,
in drafts.
It's because also once you get to December, he's not going to put up any points.
You do have to have a fallback plan for
Think-
that.
Say you got him for 12 weeks,
Yeah.
and then the guy can't win and can't do anything.
So here's a guy that fell off the face of the planet, Dwayne Bowe. So it's like
Yeah.
just that was pretty quick decline too. I mean, it doesn't help that he's had a rotating quarterback, scenario, but
Rotating quarterback and probably the best running back in
Yeah.
the league.
that should pull the defense in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if they're running all the time, he should be able to find some openings out there. He's a big guy.
But then they just look and go, "It's Alex Smith."
Yeah.
And they don't respect. I don't think they respect Alex Smith at all.
I'm not real sure how that team's going to score points if Jamal Charles isn't involved.
Right.
I follow this stuff pretty closely. I'm sitting here on a Saturday night doing a podcast about it. I couldn't tell you who their number 2 receiver is.
Is it a Baldwin?
No, he got traded for the 49ers.
Because he was on
is
there.
it a
I think it was
Baldwin?
John. I believe it was
John
John.
Baldwin was their first-round pick from a couple years ago. They got swapped for the 49ers' first-round pick that was also a bust. AJ something. It's not important.
And I'm not happy that Danny Woodhead just got picked because I really kind of wanted him as a backup running back.
Woodhead's a good
in a
depth guy
PPR.
in a PPR league. Yeah, absolutely.
And not to mention I have Ryan Matthews, so he is sort of a handcuff scenario
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
a little bit. But that's all right.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't think I'm gonna take any of those Houston guys
You can't.
because I don't know which one's gonna be good.
They're
and which
gonna be.
one's not.
They're still gonna be there. No one's gonna take them, even though we're literally talking about them in front of
Yeah.
half the league.
I'm not
Yeah.
worried about
No
it.
one's going to take them. So.
I took Cecil Shorts, which I'm okay with at this point.
hmm
Cecil Shorts was a hot item a couple
Yeah.
years ago. And if Chad Henne can get his act together, or if Bortles becomes the guy,
Bortles
has
has to start there within like 2 weeks.
Honestly,
Like,
guys,
he's so much
I'm good
better
with
than
it.
Henny. It's not even.
I
Funny.
don't even know. Honest. I mean, granted, I know it's because Henny is, I guess,
A veteran.
the
guy.
veteran. I mean, I don't know how you can still call him a veteran, even though I know he's played. But how do you not start Blake Bortles?
I don't know. Bortles has looked great.
Well, it's the same thing as situation as Minnesota. I mean, yeah, Castle's the veteran, but I honestly I think Bridgewater's the way to go.
Oh, I do too. Without a
I
doubt.
don't, but they've already named Castle the starter.
Again, it'll be for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking Jeremy Hill. If I couldn't get Gio Bernard, I might as well get the
Yeah,
guy
why
who's
not?
young and still there
Yeah.
on the same team. He's slated to get a lot of the goal line carries as a bye week guy, or if he catches fire, that's fine with me too. But I'll keep him on the team. I don't know. I hope he doesn't do well because I have Gio Bernard in many other leagues, so I don't want him to. But it's almost like that little insurance policy in case something goes wrong. I can benefit from it a little bit.
All right, Kirk, what you got?
Oh man.
These picks are
Time to pull one out of the hat.
yeah, these are struggling.
Yeah, honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and take a guy I know that's just been consistent throughout his entire career, even though he is a kicker. I'm taking
Steven Gostkowski.
Yeah, Gostkowski is generally regarded as, I think, still the overall #1 kicker, like in most publications.
He's up there. I mean, honestly,
They just put up steady points.
I honestly would have taken Tucker because in the last 2 years combined, he's missed like eight kicks.
Yeah, Maurice got you on that.
Imagine the flack I caught for that.
Tucker's a hell of. I mean, that's like I said. I would have. He was my first choice. but-
Sproles and Greg Jennings are off the board,
Yep.
and Kaepernick.
Steven Jackson got taken, and a guy that
Fred
I
Jackson,
like as a
right?
sleeper.
Steven Jackson.
Not Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson.
Guy that I like
Oh.
as a sleeper this year, Andrew Hawkins from Cleveland.
Yeah, Brian grabbed him.
Being a Ravens fan, I've seen Andrew Hawkins chew us up and spit us out a couple of times.
He's
over the past
ridiculously
couple of years.
fast.
He's really fast. He's a slot receiver that, considering Brian Hoyer's a quarterback and he can't throw more than 30 yards downfield, he's probably going to be a big player in Cleveland. So
And they
Pete
got rid of
Gurley
Nate
gets
Burleson, my boy Nate,
They
who I
dumped
used
Nate?
to draft every year.
They
just
dumped
because.
Nate?
Yeah,
Oh, that's rough.
Burleson's a free agent. So
Wow. Everybody get on up.
Yep.
That's crazy. I know nobody cares, but Jay Cutler and Phil Rivers are still available.
Absolutely.
Wow. Cutler is, if you don't hate him as a person, is the hotness as far as fantasy is concerned because he's in a big offense, and one of these days he's going to throw for 35 touchdowns. We just don't know when it's going to be.
He's another fragile.
Oh
man.
yeah, he's a China.
He
dog.
may as well have the icon next to him that's just a dress instead of the Swedish flag.
Nice. Colin
Say it's a
Kaepernick went
French
off
flag.
the board. Yeah, it's a French flag.
Yeah, Kaepernick is one of the ones that
Maurice, nice
is
pick.
very nice.
I like Kaepernick.
I tell you what, at 120,
Yeah.
considering last year he was one of the probably top 7 quarterbacks picked last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in all honesty, he was a top 10 quarterback by the end of the year. Everybody kind of dumped on him because the middle of his season was pretty terrible. But
Yeah, he had that ridiculous first game.
Yeah.
And then kind of pooped his pants for a couple weeks, and then he finished pretty good.
you're relying on some rushing stats to buoy
Yeah.
his lack
Now,
of passing yardage. But that's
Ridley
okay.
being picked, Ridley's one of those guys that they've got 5 people on their depth chart basically at running back.
Yeah.
And he just has a fumble problem. Like, if he
Yeah.
could control the ball, he still had a bunch of touchdowns last year.
He's the incumbent.
Yeah. But there were some rumors last week before they started making cuts that they thought that Ridley could potentially be cut
Wow.
because they like James White a lot. Varine's not going anywhere, and I forget the other.
Brandon Bolden
Bolden.
is the other running back.
So I mean, they got a lot of talent there, but yeah, Ridley still, they're gonna give him a chance. Charles Clay, he's a guy that the Dolphins offense doesn't seem like a juggernaut, but he gets a lot of action in that offense.
Oh yeah, they use him a lot of different ways. He's a Tannehill security blanket. It's a solid pick at this point for
Mhm.
sure.
But yeah, the Dwayne Bowe pick, like we all agree, it's not that Dwayne Bowe's
Uh,
not draftable, and I haven't looked at the Dagron's team. Let me take a look and see what they are.
I I couldn't ride with Dwayne Bowe. I managed to get Dwayne Bowe the year he had the gigantic year.
Right.
But I can't ride with Dwayne Bowe. I'm sorry. He's one of those guys that it would take a lot for me to. He'd have to be there really, really late for me to take him. He is going to miss a game, by the way. He was suspended for the first week.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's not bad though. He's still, for the most part, he's going to be a bench player.
Yeah. No, it doesn't really matter.
What do I do here? It's whatever at this point. I kind of like Mark Ingram this year. I do. I kind of like him.
Oh.
It's not.
You're a Saints fan. Look at you.
It's not a flashy PPR pick by any means, but he's been destroying people in this preseason.
He does it a lot.
Yeah, I know.
He does it in a lot of preseasons.
That's probably gonna be a doo-doo pick.
He does it in a lot of preseasons. I'm not gonna lie.
But whatever. It was honestly, it was gonna be him or Marcus Wheaton, and I'm just like, what, That's who I was going with.
Oh, Tony. Tony wanted Gates. They got snagged out from under him.
Tony, just get Lardarius Green. He might be better than him this year. So, yeah, that's an interesting dynamic out there because Lardarius Green is just like he's like Gates. I think he played basketball. If not, he's a basketball body, like very tall, huge wingspan, physical. And he's young, but he has a lot of the same skills Gates has, except Gates keeps getting plantar fasciitis and is
He's got pull hall syndrome.
He's got a little hitch in his giddy up. So
You can never seem to unhook that trailer.
We've talked about him enough. I'll take Marcus Wheaton.
there you go. I mean, like I said,
I like
Matt.
Wheaton.
Yeah.
Upside pick.
I was like, yes.
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 Delightful.
all right. So we got
Beats by
back to back,
Ray.
but
Beats by Ray is going to make it happen here. All right. We're coming down the home stretch
guaranteed
here.
he gets Terrence West here.
Oh, we love Terrence West. Terrence West from Towson University. Go Tigers. I know Mike and I are Towson alums. You guys involved in the Towson program?
I
anyway?
am a Towson Tiger, and I'm a UMBC UMUC something. I don't even know if they have a mascot.
That's,
but,
the
I was-
computer monitors.
Yeah, I think it's the CRTs.
I once slept with a girl from Towson.
There you go.
There you go. It counts.
Rock and roll. You're an alumnus.
Me too, actually.
Up top.
I went there for a bunch of years. Didn't sleep with a girl from Towson.
Philip Rivers.
P. Riv.
Hey, at 130.
Again,
So
another top 10
Yeah.
QB pick.
top 10.
normally.
The guy was
Probably
like
top-
the guy was like fourth in the league.
He
last
was
year.
top 5 last year in a lot of leagues.
Carolina's
I'm saying
defense is off the
consistently
board.
for the last couple of years. I mean, the guy's
I am blown away that he didn't get Terrence West because, again, I know this gentleman personally and he talks about him constantly. So,
I'm gonna bet that Frank Gore breaks down and take Carlos Hyde.
oh, shots fired.
Oh, it's,
I know.
I
I'm just
don't
kidding.
dislike Frank Gore. I'm just rooting that he bodily harms himself. That's horrible. I shouldn't say that. Well, we're coming down the end here, guys.
Yeah, which is good because I need a bath. I'm sweaty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty hot in
You got
here.
wearing multiple layers of spine over here. Feeling real weird.
You're just that cool.
Yeah.
This just in, we've gotten no tweets.
Yes.
No
not a
tweets.
single tweet.
We are tweetless.
You
Did I
know,
send one?
We do have a follower.
we'll get it
That's
popping.
probably me.
It is you. Yes.
Yes.
We rock.
You got to support your own
I
brand.
could have
Yes.
sworn I sent a tweet too, but you know,
This
whatever.
is great.
We'll get it rolling.
We'll get
Not
it
a problem.
rolling, That's fine.
Yeah, if you listen to this not live and you catch it on the YouTube channel later,
Yeah,
just send
this
your
is-
questions throughout the week. I
it's
mean, we're
gonna be
going to look
archived.
at them.
You know
Yeah.
what we should have done?
Yeah,
Right
this is
here.
going to be archived, so you can check it out and you know,
Subscribe,
subscribe.
absolutely, to everything.
We'd also like some feedback. I know this is my first effort in the podcasting world. These guys are veterans, but you know, whatever suggestions you can make, or
We're kind of like veterans of Desert Storm, though. It wasn't really a challenge.
oh boy,
Wow.
I'm not touching that.
I never shot
Oh,
anybody,
come
but I have a
on.
weapon. It's amazing.
I'm not saying it wasn't a war. I'm just saying it was an ass kicking. That's all I'm saying.
Brian's winning the award for most time taken,
Oh, absolutely.
without a doubt.
Brian's single-handedly stretching our draft out a good half hour at this point
He went down to 3 seconds
to take Mike Williams.
for Mike Williams. Brian, you're killing us. All
You're
right.
killing me, Smalls.
All right, Master Chiefs, pull something out.
Oy.
Oi, he says. I don't know about you guys, but I'm down to my kicker and defense. Or last 2 picks, however you look at it.
I have a bench spot left and then kicker defense, but I'm probably not going to draft one of
Am I
those.
the weirdo who's only filling his bench right now?
No, you're fine.
No,
I'll
you're
say
good.
I'm
Don't worry
filling in
about
my
it.
bench at this point as well.
Hey,
I'm going with this. I'm getting a little Steve Smith Senior
Steve
in my
Smith
life.
Senior.
I like it.
I like it.
I do. I really do.
He's the type of guy that you hate him if he's not on your team and you love him if he's on your team in both fantasy and in real football.
As a Falcons fan, I've seen a lot of Steve Smith in my life.
I can't wait this year as a Ravens fan for him to rip someone's helmet off and get kicked out of one game. And I don't mind because I know that's what he does. And I love
Steve
it.
Smith is very intense. I don't know what else to say.
And we needed that. The Ravens looked pathetic.
Yeah.
They were emotionless last
Yeah,
year.
were-
They just went
They
through.
were,
went
a
through
little
each game.
flat.
Cutler's finally gone.
Yep, I took him as my backup.
There you
That's a
go.
good pick. It's a good pick. Russell Wilson is your starter, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I mean,
good.
honestly, really, it could be
You're
just. It's
going to
gonna
have some choices to make.
Yeah.
It's going to be a matchup.
That's the only problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
going to be a week to week, but. And honestly, really, all I'm going to be looking at is going to be the defensive matchup for Seattle. Because if it looks like it's a good defensive matchup, I'm going to throw Russell Wilson out there just because he's probably going to have a pretty nice, easy game and have the ball most of the game.
Yeah.
So we're getting a message from the man upstairs here. We're running close to an hour. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about our teams on Sunday?
Yeah. We're not
like a
going to do it.
post-draft
Exactly.
wrap-up
Yeah.
type
We're not going to
thing?
have time to
Okay.
do the wrap up tonight, but
Say by Sunday, you mean tomorrow.
No.
No,
like for week 1.
yeah. When we actually
that'll be
Alright.
part of the week 1 festivities.
That works
Right.
for me. Works
It'll
for
give
me.
us a week to stare at them, and,
Right. And
read
hate
the
our
tea
lives.
leaves. Yeah.
And for Mike and I to figure out this whole Golden Tate
we'll figure it
fiasco.
out. I'm not worried.
Lord-
It's not the end of the world.
Ladarius Green just got taken.
I
as
like
did
Ladarius
Bernard
Green.
Pierce.
I like him.
Everybody likes a starting running back in round 15.
Right.
Why not?
And he has Ray Rice, so he's
Oh,
totally
very
covered.
nice.
That's
good
smart.
Job. That's good. Maurice,
very
you're
smart.
learning so fast. What can we say?
You made daddies proud.
Yeah.
All the
Very nice.
daddies.
All the daddies.
And there goes RG3.
RG3. That's the third quarterback for the Deadites, who might end up being his starter,
Who are the other two? Flacco and who?
and Tannehill.
Whoo boy.
He
All
drafted-
right.
That's a crowded quarterback
That's a
scenario.
crowded
He
quarterback
drafted
meeting room.
Tannehill?
Yeah,
I must have been in the bathroom for that one.
I think you were.
So was that pick. Oh, got him.
Count it.
Paul's giving me the death
Paul.
stare.
He's
Paul is
giving
bitter.
you the stink eye.
Make sure you start Tannehill against me when we're head to head.
Honestly, I hope to God he does, and I hope he runs right through you faster than a Taco Bell quesarito.
Hey, their dollar menu is awesome, by the
All
way.
of Taco Bell's amazing.
Frito beef burrito right now. There's Fritos in it.
I know.
I do that anyway. They just save me time.
They did it for you.
That sounds like diarrhea and disappointment. Like
Kirk, you're up.
Yeah,
bud.
you're up.
Oh, I'm up already.
The
Wow,
Lion-Os.
that was quick.
Yeah, we had
Kind
Bernard,
of thought I was done.
RG3, Delaney Walker, and St. Louis defense just fell off the
I'm a little
board.
bitter because I wanted St. Louis defense. If you can be bitter about a defense.
You're not bitter about
I
a
mean,
defense. Come on.
There's other defenses that I like though. So
I can't swear. Honestly, I don't really care at this point.
That's
So,
what we like to hear.
I'm gonna take.
Hakeem
I'm gonna
Nicks.
take. I'm gonna take the Hilton's back up.
I'm gonna do my Fred Sanford impression here. Hakeem Nicks. Oh, I'm coming. Here's a fun stat. Hakeem Nicks had the most yards and receptions for a player not to score a touchdown.
I know.
That's a good stat.
It's an interesting one.
Hey, you know what? Because that means catches.
It should be said, by the way, that Kirk's writing down his picks on graph paper.
I appreciate
That's
it.
professionalism.
He's the engineer.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you notice, I'm not really following the lines that well.
Well,
So
I'm trying to help you out.
So I
I was about to say, trying
exceeded
to give you some points. You know, some.
I
oh,
I
some Mario
exceeded my
Party going
bench
on.
by taking Devontae Freeman.
Oh, Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's my new boyfriend. You can't take
I'm
Devontae
sorry.
Freeman.
I'm sorry, Falcons
Good
fan, but
Lord.
I'm
Devontae Freeman and his very mature set of dreadlocks.
yes.
Oh, all right. That's cool. I didn't have a bench spot left anyway.
can I
so.
say that I'm actually?
I don't either. I'm exceeding it. You can do that apparently.
What?
Yeah. We have 6
Oh,
bench
you're
spots.
just not you're not
I'm
drafting a
not.
kicker.
I'm not going to draft
okay.
a kicker.
See,
yeah.
I'm going to go old school and draft a kicker.
I've actually got 7.
I'm going
bench
to take the
spots.
Bengals defense. Because I like
Oh
them.
yeah, we have set. Oh no, that's because it adds one. Yeah, it like temporarily adds one, but
So I got the Bengals
Oh, because
defense.
it's a flex.
Bengals
like
defense
them.
is good. We
I
see
mean, I
them a
picked up
lot.
Detroit's defense.
Yeah.
Say my
Detroit's
person-
aggressive.
Yeah.
Since he's getting back Geno Atkins.
Yes.
I
Now,
like
the only
that.
thing about Detroit's defense is they are playing in a division with a lot of high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get a lot of points against points, but you're going to get a lot of
We'll
turnovers.
get turnovers.
Yeah, and sacks.
But that's why I like Cincy's defense, because none of those offenses in that division are any good.
No, unfortunately, the AFC North is not putting up a lot of points on a regular.
Let's see. You know what? I'm going to break tradition. I'll take a kicker. Blair Walsh. Why not?
The Blair Walsh
The
Project.
Blair Walsh Project.
Should make my entire.
He had a
team
couple
kickers.
games. He was my kicker for a good 6-7 weeks last
He's
year.
an indoor kicker on a team that can't move the ball,
And he's got a leg.
and he's got a big leg. So
I say it may not be the most accurate, but the guy can get it down the field.
Well, guys, we're coming down the home stretch here. I want to say thanks to all the guys in the league for getting online on a Saturday night on Labor Day weekend and spending some time with us and helping us out.
Absolutely.
Thanks to anybody that watched. And we're ready for the season.
Yeah, we are. Definitely check us out at theninjalegion.com, along
Yep.
with all of our other
Lots
podcasts
of
we
other
do.
great more great content.
So we got stuff from, video game content, comic book content, movies, anime, all kinds of stuff that we talk about. Anything that's entertaining and nerdy. We
And-
have... Go ahead.
I was going to say, and as far as this league's concerned, we're going to have certain extracurricular activities for
Penalties.
penalties for basically bonehead plays and just sucking at fantasy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, one of the
honestly.
one of the things we wanted to have conceptually come through in this
You're right, Kurt.
podcast series is accountability.
Yeah.
Because
I'm up.
everybody's seen
Goddamn,
pundits and experts and everything else. They make their picks, and the next week nobody talks about it.
It's just on to the next week. Yeah. No,
We're all gonna come out firing with some predictions, with some go out on a limb type stuff. And when it falls through, boy, are we gonna hear about it. It's gonna be great.
I don't know what dress size I wear, but I might end up having to find that out at some
Yeah,
point.
we're gonna make it interesting.
All I know is I'm plus size. That's
There you go. There you go.
Say, you're talking to me, dude.
We actually should have a wheel of death, like a penalty wheel.
Oh, the penalty wheel.
That's
yes.
The
That
penalty
is
wheel's
good.
a good idea.
That is
I
good.
like it.
With one surprise, like one good thing, but then like 9 or 10
It'd
bad
be like the
things.
$1 million slot
Yeah,
Wheel
the
of Fortune.
little small one.
the little tiny one.
It'll be like get a popsicle. You're like, yes.
Get a popsicle. Get motorboated.
But it's right next to taking a shot of a ghost pepper hot sauce and taking a Nerf arrow to the nuts. Like it's gonna be right in between those.
you know the pincer. Just pincer anything.
Just Warren
Yeah.
has his free reign to do what he wants.
exactly.
To
But he's across the country. So.
He's going
Honestly,
to send you nudies.
If you give him free reign to do whatever he wants, he would make a flight out here, and you know that.
Wow, someone just got the Dagrons just got really mad. Maybe at the Dan Bailey pick. I don't know, but this just angry.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Irrelevant was Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer with the last pick of the draft, everyone. So thanks for joining.
Well, hey, that was a thing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa, now
Whoa,
we got
whoa,
that.
get that
Whoa,
out of
whoa,
there.
whoa,
What was-
whoa,
hey.
what's
What
going
was-
Oh,
on?
this is the Manziel commercial.
Oh, it's the Manziel commercial. Great.
But we're not talking
That's
about it.
safe. That's.
I'm not even sure who
Was
did I
it
take at my last
SFW?
pick? I don't remember
That's
who
safe
I
for
took at
work.
my last pick.
I don't either. I took
All right, well, we're running past time, so
Palmer because why? Why?
We will
wouldn't
see
I?
you in
Well,
the
we
first
are-
Sunday of the season.
right. Next podcast is going to be Sunday, week 1, 11:30 to 12:30. We're going to be here with our picks. We're going to go over the teams. We're going to let you know who botched it and who had a really good draft.
And we'll already have one game in the books that we can talk about
Yes,
too.
and we'll have the
Green
opener,
Bay, Seattle.
Green Bay, Seattle to talk about.
Yep.
All right, that's all for us. Thanks again, and for Mike, Maurice, and Kirk, I'm Mark. Have a great one.
All
Thanks
right,
a
Have
lot.
a go.
Peace.
Make it rain.